Chapter 26. After sending off Hu Chunmei, Sun Xiaobin came to the stage and said, regarding the selection of your new class teacher, the school is still in discussion. Please inform your parents of the situation truthfully tonight. The school will definitely select the best teacher, so please rest assured. Director, Lu Xin raised his hand and said, does that mean we can have a few days without a class teacher? Lu Xin, Sun Xiaobin chuckled and said, Teacher Qiaosheng said that once he finishes his work, he will give you special attention. The most up-to-date novellas are published on Fruit Noelo. Lu Xin felt very bad. Maybe I should transfer schools. After school, there was still a lot of discussion in the class. The main topic was the selection of the new class teacher. The boys were discussing around Zhang Qinghua. Class monitor, can we give our opinions? Report to the school and ask for teacher Xiao Tang. What a coincidence, you also want teacher Xiao Tang. Yes, whoever has bigger chests goes first. Hey! Zhang Qinghua said sternly, don't talk about the teacher like that, it's disrespectful. Besides, doesn't teacher Xiao Tang have long legs too? Damn! You with the thick eyebrows and big eyes, you only look at the lower half of the body, hey! Alright, no more joking. Zhang Qinghua waved his hand and said, have you all forgotten about last year? Sigh. The idiots in Class 5's parents. I wanted to beat them up back then. Zhang Qinghua sighed as he packed his school bag. They're evaluating model classes, I guess the school will choose a steady teacher. But if they do choose teacher Xiao Tang, we have to make sure our parents don't do anything embarrassing. Absolutely. In my house, my mom is first, I'm second, the dog is third, and my dad is fourth. Rest assured, I can control him. Alright, let's hurry to the field. Oh, right, get the ball, get the ball. Zhang Qinghua packed his school bag, standing up with a smile. He turned his head instinctively. He saw Li Zheng talking with Lin Yujing. Li Zheng was holding a magazine and walked over, giving her one last chance, do you want to read it or not? If not, I'm returning it. Shoo! Lin Yujing turned her head, shouldered her backpack, waved her hand in disgust, and told Li Zheng to move aside. Li Zheng ignored her and went back to his seat to pack his bag. Lin Yujing adjusted her backpack and, as she passed by Li Zheng's seat, took out a throat lozenge and popped it into her mouth. Hope it kills you. Li Zheng cursed. Let me say it again, it's not mine. Li Zheng said disdainfully, it was given to you by Zhang Qinghua. Puh! Lin Yujing immediately spat it out. The lozenge made an arc and landed on the ground. It bounced and then fell again. Finally, it rolled to Zhang Qinghua's feet. Zhang Qinghua looked down at the lozenge, then at Lin Yujing. Lin Yujing was wiping her mouth with a tissue, spitting constantly. At that moment, Zhang Qinghua felt a chill. In your heart, am I really that disgusting? Chill. So cold. Could it be that winter has come? In a daze, snow began to fall in the classroom. The snow fell so earnestly. So deeply. Reflecting upon him. Lying in the snow with wounds. Seeing the chilly Zhang Qinghua, Lin Yujing hurriedly covered her mouth, feeling embarrassed. She quickly closed the throat lozenge box and ran over to place it back beside Zhang Qinghua's desk. My throat is fine now, thank you. Then she turned around. Glared. Kept glaring. Stomped her feet as she glared. It was as if she heard the sound of a can being opened. Only to find it was dog food inside. That kind of anger. Li Zheng completely couldn't understand. An honest person, sleeping on a book pillow, how did I provoke you? Women, unreasonable creatures. Lin Yujing bowed again to thank Zhang Qinghua, then stormed off with her bag. Zhang Qinghua was still immersed in his own BGM. After a while, Li Zheng, also carrying his bag, came over. Are we still playing basketball today? He asked. Li Zheng, why, really? Zhang Qinghua grabbed Li Zheng's shoulders. His eyes were full of absurdity. Li Zheng was both panicked and confused. For relaxation? You too. Zhang Qinghua clutched his head, he hated it. But he couldn't really hate it. No way, it was Li Zheng, who could hate him. I know my chances aren't great. But I never thought, it would be you, sigh. Zhang Qinghua sighed wistfully and pounded Li Zheng's chest, today in basketball, I'm going all out. Really? Li Zheng covered his slightly aching chest, feeling a bit excited. I felt full of energy after doing the exercises. No more talking, see you on the court. I'm not on your team today, I'm going to show you what competition is. Zhang Qinghua shouldered his bag and headed for the door. On the court, I won't lose. Li Zheng was rarely provoked. Just a little teasing from Zhang Qinghua and he was fired up. Then I'll have to go all out too. Before playing basketball, Li Zheng hurried to the library with a brisk jog. He peeked in first. The sanctimonious old librarian was sitting at the desk reading. No one else was there. Lin Yujing wasn't there. Safe. He quickly ran to the desk like a counter-terrorist, took out his library card and 2 magazines. The old man looked up, took off his glasses to confirm it was Li Zheng, and said, "That girl from yesterday didn't come to pick up her student card." "Oh." Li Zheng said as he searched the bookshelves, "Are there any more copies of Sci-Fi World, sir?" "The old ones are all in there, you'll have to look for them." The old man closed the 2 magazines with a snort, "So careless." Li Zheng suddenly remembered the saliva incident. Although he didn't want to deal with the old man, it was his fault. He had to lower his head and admit his mistake. "Sorry. I fell asleep while reading." "Humph." The old man looked at him sideways, very sternly. "According to the rules, if you damage a book, you have to pay 3 times its value and lose borrowing privileges." "No, please." Li Zheng quickly rummaged through his bag. "I'll pay, just don't cancel my borrowing privileges." "Oh, you know how to be flexible." The old man said sternly, pulling out a domestic phone. "Do that Billy thing. I'll download it for you." Li Zheng immediately took the phone and started fiddling. There are even video tutorials in there. "What? Educational videos? With such difficulty getting online, who watches that stuff?" The old man waved it off. "We'll talk about Billy later, first, your class teacher went to the hospital." "Yes, we just said goodbye." The old man rubbed his chin. "What about the new class teacher?" "We don't know yet. If the new teacher is picked from other subjects, who do you think is suitable?" Li Zheng finished downloading Billy, handed the phone back. "That's not my decision to make." "Oh, you follow rules strictly." The old man smirked, grabbing a piece of paper. "Finally, a name for the library's blacklist, I'll write it neatly." Chapter 27. Stop. Li Zheng hurriedly pulled the paper back. "What did you just ask?" "The homeroom teacher, who do you think is suitable?" The old man raised an eyebrow. "Pick from the other teachers." "Let me think." Li Zheng pondered. "In terms of seniority, it should be English teacher Zhao, but she always leaves right after class and doesn't grade our homework seriously. She's kind of hands-off, not really suitable." The old man pulled back the paper and started writing on it. "Teacher Zhao is not responsible, got it?" "That's not what I mean. She does what needs to be done, just not as exaggerated as teacher Hu Chunmei." Li Zheng was a bit wary. "What are you writing? Do you still want last year's Sci-Fi World?" Fine, I won't ask." Li Zheng continued to think. "Biology teacher Hu, he's steady, but too easygoing and slow. He probably can't handle the pace of our class. So, he's dragging his feet and slacking off." "Got it." The old man jotted it down. "I didn't say that," Li Zheng continued. "Physics teacher Tao has just enough experience. She's very smart, I really like her classes, clear logic, fast pace and full of knowledge points, but she seems focused solely on teaching, no interaction with us outside of it." The old man made a big stroke. "Dislikes students, refuses to communicate." "Got it. Forget it, whatever makes you happy." Li Zheng gave up. "Chemistry teacher Yu, she's aloof and has no interest in being a homeroom teacher. She's a good teacher fundamentally, but she never listens to others, does things her own way. Even if she listens, no one dares to speak up." The old man thought for a moment, then hesitantly wrote, "Forget it, I'll leave her alone." You haven't mentioned the Chinese teacher." "Yes, I'm still unsure," Li Zheng said hesitantly. "Chinese teacher Tang, very enthusiastic, highly responsible, great teaching, who keeps coming up with innovative methods. Our class never falls behind in Chinese. Honestly, I don't even put much effort into Chinese, just follow her classes, and I can get decent grades. Then what's there to hesitate about? Do you not know what happened last year? Li Zheng sighed. 3 parents chased her, accusing her of physically punishing students. How could that be? She has such a good temper that it's amazing students don't bully her. Thinking it over, it's better not to burden her with the class. Such a good young teacher, I don't want to see her get hurt again. Better go with biology teacher who, he might not be the best, but we have a capable class leader who will help him. Oh my, you're quite considerate, aren't you? The old man raised his brow. You little rascal, you know how to be gentle with women, hey. Li Zheng looked down at his neat school uniform. How am I not considerate? All right, I won't make it hard for you. The old man laughed as he stood up. Wait here, I'll get those magazines for you. After an anxious wait, the old man brought back a whole year's worth of Sci-Fi World. Woo, woo. He blew and dusted off the covers. Besides me, only that girl has read these. Li Zheng secretly cheered. His judgment was indeed correct. She followed it every issue. You can only borrow 3 at a time, but since you keep coming to my bar, I'll make an exception this time. The old man muttered as he recorded, Sci-Fi World, been around for years. I asked her before, why would a girl like sci-fi? Why? Heh. The old man stroked his beard and chuckled, it's a very romantic answer, I won't tell you. Isn't it just for studying? Li Zheng quietly stuffed the whole year's worth of magazines into his bag. Well, you could put it that way too. The old man scratched his head, feeling something was off. Why does talking to you make everything sound so strange? It's your own crooked mind, Li Zheng grumbled internally. After bowing and saying goodbye, he jogged off. He couldn't wait for his spirited battle with Zhang Qinghua. A while later, a girl peeked her head in. She moved exactly like Li Zheng did. They both checked to see if anyone annoying was around. They're gone, no need to look. The old man waved with a smile. Phew. Lin Yujing finally walked in, awkwardly saying, Teacher, about yesterday. Is this what you want? The old man smiled, pushing her student card forward. Yes. Thank you, teacher. Lin Yujing took the library card but glanced at the October issue of Sci-Fi World on the desk. Do you want to borrow this? The old man opened the cover. That kid got it dirty, I cleaned it up for you. Actually, it's okay. Lin Yujing mumbled. If you don't mind, then of course, no problem. The old man pushed the magazine over and casually asked, that kid secretly asked me why you like Sci-Fi World. Lin Yujing was stunned. She wanted to get angry, but didn't dare to. Why would you do that? Lin Yujing clutched the magazine, blushing and looking down. You promised not to tell anyone. Heh, I didn't tell him, just teased him. The old man laughed. That silly boy thought you liked it for studying, such a dented brain. Phew. Lin Yujing finally relaxed. Please, don't tell him more. You can trust me. Watching Lin Yujing leave shyly, the old man's heart was surging. Being young was wonderful. If he could turn back time and return to high school, who would bother studying? The girls in the whole school. He would want to interact with each one. Just as Lin Yujing left the library, 2 stout arms suddenly grabbed her from behind. Pong! Bear hug! She suffocated. She struggled. She hammered wildly. All right. Xiao Bixia finally let go with a muffled laugh. Heh. Phew. Lin Yujing wiped off the saliva, glaring, if you do that again, I'll bite you. Hey, it's not easy getting those neat teeth, don't mess them up. Xiao Bixia held onto Lin Yujing. Come on, let's play ball. No. Oh, are you really scared of that kid? Xiao Bixia glared. Just not going. At this moment, Su Mensi also trotted up. It's fine. We continued playing with Li Zheng afterward, he's quite peaceful. Shoo. Lin Yujing turned away, keep speaking for him and I won't talk to any of you. Who's speaking for that guy? Xiao Bixia said, don't be fooled by how lively he is, he's got terrible stamina. After 10 minutes, 1 bump, and he's down. Su Mensi wiped her sweat, not even 10 minutes, you could knock anyone down at any time. That's exactly it. Xiao Bixia squeezed Lin Yujing's shoulder, then turned to drag her to the restroom. Hurry up, change clothes, today I'll help you crush that kid. She suffocated. She struggled. She hammered wildly. Finally, all she could do was bite. Chomp. Hey, hey, hey. Xiao Bixia only then released her, looking at the teeth marks on her arm and laughing, it actually hurts. Lin Yujing wiped her mouth, whispered to Su Mensi, Mensi, is it true, after 10 minutes, we can easily beat him? Really, I even blocked his shot at the end. Lin Yujing felt a bit itchy in her hands. And in her mouth. But her teeth hurt. She glared at Xiao Bixia's arm. And started rubbing her mouth. I warned you, Xiao Bixia nudged her towards the restroom, hurry up, I've held it in all day, didn't even sleep well last night. Chapter 28. Since class ended early today, the guys from class 4 had taken over 2 courts. Zhang Qinghua, Lu Xian and Li Zheng naturally ended up on the same half-court. Lu Xian was still blaming himself for Hu Chunmi's illness, and his shots to the basket were less impressive than usual. Zhang Qinghua and Li Zheng stood side by side, warming up. One-on-one, Zhang Qinghua said indifferently. While there aren't many people. Forget it, I definitely can't beat you, Li Zheng said, shaking his head while doing his exercises. You won't know until you try. I don't need to try to know. You don't get it. Zhang Qinghua picked up a basketball that rolled over, trying hard to brush off the cold and bleak feelings around him. You really don't get it. I get it. Li Zheng took big strides and started doing jumping exercises. I really am just lucky, that's all. I just want to relax without crushing other classmates. Could you stop talking while jumping? Just as Zhang Qinghua was about to say more, a cold draft beside him turned into a fierce gust. He quickly raised his hand to block it. Bang! It was a basketball. Luckily, he caught it in time. But his hand still hurt a lot. The force. Come on, Zhang Shui, Xiao Bixia said, cracking her knuckles as she walked over. Hey, Su Mensi waved to greet them from the side. There seemed to be someone else lurking behind them, from the shiny shoes, it had to be Lin Yujing. Zhang Qinghua swallowed his frustrations with a vengeful look. Don't you seniors have extra classes? The school's being evaluated for model status, so they don't dare to add any, Xiao Bixia said as she ran over with a thump, leaping at Lu Xian. You! Thunk! Lu Xian staggered from the collision, glanced back at Xiao Bixia, picked up the ball silently, and didn't say a word. Wow, the oilkin isn't in form today. Can't be bothered with you. Lu Xian shot the ball, but it missed. No worries, I'll get you in form, Xiao Bixia said, rubbing her hands as she turned to Zhang Qinghua. Stop dawdling, 3-on-3, let's go. Zhang Qinghua glanced at the distracted Lin Yujing, who didn't seem to be watching her steps. Was she avoiding his gaze? Maybe there was still hope. Zhang Qinghua's expression changed. All right, but a mixed-gender game is too unfair to you all. How about rotating teams? Bring it on, Xiao Bixia said, snatching the basketball from Lu Xian's hands. Come on, everyone, gather round. Rotating teams was a way to randomly form teams on the court. The captain would spin the ball, and whoever it pointed to would be on their team. The 6 of them quickly formed a circle. Xiao Bixia spun the ball upwards and then caught it again. The ball pointed straight at Lin Yujing. Xiao Bixia quickly grabbed her and hugged her tightly. Next, Zhang Qinghua spun and it pointed to Su Mensi. In the final round, Xiao Bixia spun and it pointed to Li Zheng. The results were in. Xiao Bixia, Lin Yujing and Li Zheng formed one team. Zhang Qinghua, Lu Xian and Su Mensi formed the other team. Everyone was a bit disappointed with the results. But at least Zhang Qinghua could now face off against Li Zheng directly. 10 points, with 3 pointers counting as double, Xiao Bixia said, throwing the ball hard at Li Zheng. Li Zheng raised his hand and gently caught it, then dribbled to the center court to inbound the ball. Got it, Xiao Bixia whispered to Lin Yujing. Pass him the ball a lot, wear him out, and then we swap teams after 10 points and crush him. Okay. Lin Yujing nodded eagerly. On the other side, Zhang Qinghua's team had no communication at all. Su Mensi wanted to discuss some tactics, but he only saw 2 men standing sternly. Lu Xian stood under the basket with a lifeless expression. But Zhang Qinghua was different, his fists clenched, and his eyes were burning with determination. This unyielding sense of defiance reminded Su Mensi of how Brother Shuo looked yesterday. Indeed, it had been a long time since Zhang Qinghua was this serious. This time, he wouldn't lose again. Get it clear, Li Zheng. This court belongs to Zhang. Standing at the inbound point, Li Zheng also felt this unusual fighting spirit. It seemed to be beyond just a game. Never mind, better to avoid it for now. He passed the ball to Lin Yujing. Got it. Lin Yujing received the ball and waved her hand, organizing the offense. Got it, got it. On the other side, Zhang Qinghua shouted, raising his arm. I'll guard Li Zheng, you take Lin Yujing, whoever you are. Okay. Su Mensi faced Lin Yujing. Got it. Lin Yujing turned her head and glared, then immediately returned the ball to Li Zheng. As soon as Li Zheng received the ball, he saw Zhang Qinghua charging toward him like a bull. Startled, he quickly passed the ball back to Lin Yujing. Lin Yujing dribbled twice and passed it back. Got it. Li Zheng dribbled once and returned it. As they ran forward, they kept passing the ball back and forth. Before they knew it, they had exchanged 6 or 7 passes. Zhang Qinghua kept chasing but suddenly felt his legs weaken. The game had just started. But it felt like he could hear the final buzzer already. Every hard pass from Lin Yujing felt like a stab to his heart. Every pass returned by Li Zheng made him feel shorter. As he kept running, he couldn't run anymore. By the time he realized it, he had been left behind. Ah! Zhang Qinghua looked back dazedly. In a trance. Li Zheng and Lin Yujing seemed to move in slow motion. They looked harmonious, warm. Even exchanging meaningful glances. He seemed to understand something. Pain. So much pain. Thud, swish. Li Zheng scored an easy layup. To be honest, that offensive play felt pretty comfortable. The fast-paced passing back and forth left Zhang Qinghua in the dust. That was a satisfying play. Nice shot, Li Zheng said to Lin Yujing. Got it. Lin Yujing turned her head, hoping Li Zheng would soon be out of energy. Qiao Bixia pushed past Lu Xin to grab the ball and threw it to Zhang Qinghua, not working, Zhang Shui. Thump. Right in the chest. Zhang Qinghua didn't resist and fell backward to the ground. Hey! The others hurried over. But Zhang Qinghua stared blankly at the sky, as if he didn't feel the physical pain at all. He understood, he realized. And he also felt hurt. He was even humming something. The excruciatingly painful realization. You were once my everything. But looking back at my path. Each step. Was so lonely. Suddenly, a loud shout came from the side of the field. Lu Xin, get over here. Not just Lu Xin, even Li Zheng shrank down in fear. It was Jiao Sheng, who was about to leave school with Hu Chunmei. Karma has arrived. Lu Xin sighed and walked over with his head down. The game paused. Lin Yujing grabbed the ball and enthusiastically practiced layups. Qiao Bixia was very worried about Zhang Qinghua, shaking him vigorously. Zhang Shui, what happened? Say something, Qiao Bixia gritted her teeth and, as her thick lips trembled, her tough yet tender expression became apparent. Li Zheng, help me hold him down, I'm giving CPR. CPR is CPR. But why hold him down? Chapter 29. The BGM collapsed instantly. The physiological fear forcibly dispelled the chill in his heart. I'm fine. He kicked the ground and retreated, getting up awkwardly. Ha, just kidding. Qiao Bixia laughed heartily, wiping the drool from the corner of her mouth. Still think you can take advantage of me? Zhang Qinghua's chest hurt, but he clutched his abdomen. Then he looked at Li Zheng. The latter nodded steadily. You, not good enough. Zhang Qinghua shook his head and laughed stubbornly. Just one ball, don't get cocky, watch me beat you today. Li Zheng rubbed his hands eagerly. At this moment, Lu Xin ran back. Teacher Qiao said, if we make it to the final 4 in the basketball game, he'll let me off. Lu Xin flapped his arms like a large moth and jumped up. Let's get practicing. Stop yapping, go for the inside line. Zhang Qinghua scolded. Let's go. Humph, now it's getting interesting. Qiao Bixia followed closely. The game restarted. With each run, Zhang Qinghua's sweat got hot again, and his energy came back. Just now was just a small break. Second half, here I come. The sun was setting, and there were few people left on the playground. 6 people sat on the sidelines, drinking large gulps of water, chatting about each game they just played. Qiao Bixia, not bad, Oil barrel, today's match was quite a thrill. Lu Xian, we'll continue tomorrow night, let's see if I can't handle you. Su Mensi, haha, Jing Jing played really confidently today, too. Li Zheng, that wasn't a block, just a fingertip graze. Zhang Qinghua. Unconsciously, everyone had fulfilled their wishes. Lin Yujing successfully blocked Li Zheng. Li Zheng managed to relax completely. Lu Xian grew through his confrontation with Qiao Bixia. Qiao Bixia helped Lin Yujing rediscover the fun in basketball. Su Mensi got to exercise. Zhang Qinghua gained some life insights, though a bit painful. On the other hand, Li Zheng, who fully enjoyed the game, also received a tremendous vitality boost. After all, it was triple relaxation from Lin Yujing, Su Mensi, and Qiao Bixia. Thankfully, Qiao Bixia's attention was entirely focused on Lu Xian, avoiding too many side effects. After this intense battle, he felt even more motivated to study. The next morning, just before Li Zheng left the house, he discovered 200 yuan bills on the shoe cabinet. He quietly pocketed them. After securing the money, he looked at the replies. Teacher who has been hospitalized, don't worry, within shooting range. 500 yuan, buy some stationery, if it's not enough, ask for more. As for chemistry, I can't help you. I seem to get full marks just by flipping through the book. Sorry, I have no recollection at all. You better ask a classmate who's good at chemistry. XD. Today's golden quote. Genius is like this, lifelong effort results in genius. This quote is from Mendeleev, who created the world's first periodic table of elements. Li Yi. October 12, 2018, 5:15. After reading the post, Li Zheng didn't memorize the golden quote. Instead, he repeatedly checked the shoe cabinet. Where's the promised 500 yuan? Soon, he found a follow-up post nearby. This time it was written in cursive. Just happened to be out of cash, took 300. Old Li, take good care of teacher Hu, make the cuts clean. Li Zheng, go easy when you leave, your mom's inside adjusting her sleep schedule. This golden quote is too weak, check out your mom's. Physics is like sex, while it may yield practical results, that's not why we do it. My forever idol, Feynman. Did you see that clearly? This is what you call a golden quote. Appreciate it, savor it slowly. Unending. October 12, 2018, 6:37. Damn it. Li Zheng swore under his breath. The lost 300 yuan. Really, damn it. His mom can be fiercer than her son. But Feynman's quote was really profound. Studying is the same, while it can bring some results. But that's not why I like it. He decided to keep this quote. Wonder if using it in an essay would earn extra points from teacher Xiao Tang. Li Zheng then picked up his pen and replied to the post. To old Li. This is your last time, acting tough about chemistry with me. Today's golden quote definitely gets a bad review. As for teacher Hu, you must handle it personally, don't let your stand in Cheng when I do it. The cuts must be clean and precise. Finally, about the 300 yuan that got diverted, transfer it to me on WeChat. To Ninger. Listen clearly. Li Zheng. October 12, 2018, 7:01. Bam. Li Zheng slammed the door heavily. Then sprinted out. Just as he got on his bike, his WeChat buzzed. Ning, you've got guts, just wait. Li Zheng was not scared at all. Even snatching your son's stationery money serves you right. Besides, by the time he got back from school, Ninger would probably have gone on another business trip. After all, they were a mother and son on Taiba. This morning was uneventful. Before 7:20, Li Zheng reached school and secured the most convenient bike parking spot. As he entered the school gate, there were hardly any people. Perfect, he avoided Sun Xiaobin flawlessly. He walked straight up to the second floor, opened the classroom door, and neatly arranged his review materials in the empty classroom. Finally, he could have a peaceful early self-study session. After 2 consecutive days of basketball, the soreness in his body had eased a bit. I must have gotten stronger. He flexed his fingers and opened his pencil case. At the same time, he checked his study status. Li Zheng. Basic Science Learning Stage, pending upgrade. Chinese, 94 Math, 110 English, 92. Physics, 102 Chemistry, 74 Biology, 86. Today's vitality value, 0/29, 28 times speed. Strangely, he hadn't even done his math homework yesterday, yet his math score improved by 1 point. Biology had been neglected, dropping by 1 point. Could it be that intelligence was improving, but memory was declining? Rowing upstream, not advancing means retreating. Indeed, lifelong learning is the way. For now, the most important subject was chemistry, since he had improved by 9 points in just 1 day of study yesterday. After relaxing excessively yesterday, he accumulated 29 hours of vitality value. 11 points to reach the goal, he had a good chance to complete the task. But studying had diminishing returns, the further he went, the harder it got. These 29 hours must be meticulously planned. Come on, let's make a study plan first. Li Zheng rubbed his hands together as he opened his notebook, full of anticipation. Making a study plan was very satisfying. Just like planning your character in an online game, because it allowed for endless imagination, this process was often more enjoyable than the game itself. For today's chemistry study plan, Li Zheng divided the time into 3 parts. 1. Master Su Menxi's study strategies and refine them into his own mind maps. 7 hours. 2. Consolidate by doing exercises. 7 hours. 3. Consult teacher Sun Liang at noon, then proceed based on his chemistry scores at the time. If far from the goal, he would use the Violent Advanced Learning method, starting next semester and senior year's content. This method, although effective, would be counterproductive without a solid foundation and yield superficial results. If the score was close to the 20-point improvement goal, he would continue with exercises, focusing on high-difficulty problems to fully understand the chemistry content to date. Based on yesterday's experience, to ensure flexibility, Li Zheng allocated 15 hours for this part, including normal class hours. With the plan complete, his anticipation for studying was maxed out. Today's study session was eagerly awaited as always. Chapter 30. Li Zheng closed his practice book. Vitality value, it's really not durable. 14 hours, just gone like that. Seeing the practice book still half empty, he felt a bit reluctant. He wanted to keep going, finish it all in one go. Just like pulling an all-nighter to play games, it's already 2 or 3 am, what's the point of sleeping? But he had to stop and break. Now, it's time to review. Chemistry, 8-1. Li Zheng got excited. The results were remarkable in just 14 hours. Only a small step away from reaching his chemistry score goal of 83. Indeed, Yu Hong's class was totally not worth attending. Teacher Menxi was the real savior angel. In the face of this enormous gain, Li Zheng stared at the practice book and couldn't help but rub his hands together. In his eyes, there was a gambler's frenzy. Just 2 more points to reach the goal. And he still had a full 15 hours of vitality value left. If he used this time to finish the remaining half of the book, it should definitely be enough, right? How about I try a dozen pages first? Just a dozen, I'll stop at 20 pages max. Really, I can definitely stop, not a single question more. His hand unconsciously reached out. Just as he was about to open the practice book again. Ring ring ring. The bell startled him awake. No. Stop. Studying is harder the deeper you go. These last 2 points might be just as tough as the previous 18. Must stick to the plan. Hold back. Add latest chapters at Friognov only. Li Zheng grabbed his right hand with his left, panting heavily. Before noon, not another problem, not even one more. With great effort, he managed to suppress his urge to study. That was close. Almost lost control. His classmates who couldn't stop drawing cards in games must feel the same way. But actually, in his desk mate's eyes, Li Zheng had been out of control for a long time. Are you still human? Lu Xin said, munching on an instant hamburger. I've been watching you for 5 minutes, are you practicing quantum speed reading? It's quantum problem solving. Li Zheng answered seriously, which made him look more normal. Lu Xin accepted this answer and nodded in agreement. By the way, they say old mother who went to your dad's hospital. That's not true, don't spread rumors. Li Zheng denied flatly. No way, with so many teachers in school, each with their own relatives, old Li might end up doing surgeries for 48 hours straight if everyone's aunt and uncle showed up. Heh, looks like it's true. Lu Xin leaned in and asked, aren't we like brothers? Just ordinary classmates, the kind who won't see each other after graduation except for reunions. Come on, don't pretend. Here, have my hamburger. Lu Xin said, stuffing a hamburger loaded with lettuce into his hand. Well, to be honest, my dad has had recurring hemorrhoids. They say your dad's knife skills are great, so I was thinking. Get lost. Meanwhile, with Zhang Qinghua at the center, the betting on who would be the new class teacher had reached the final stage. Closing bets, last chance, place your bets now. Physics teacher Tao, 5 times as the day teacher, place your bets. Other teachers, 3 times as the day teacher. Me. Lu Xin shouted, Teacher Xiao Tang, 100 times as the day teacher. No way, maximum bet is 10 times. Zhang Qinghua scolded, if you want to repeat high school for 10 years, I won't stop you, but others still need to graduate. Then 10 times it is. Lu Xin laughed. Place your bets, Zhang Qinghua said while recording, for those of you betting on teacher Xiao Tang, I'm telling you, statistically, her chance is really low. If you lose, don't deny it. Teacher Xiao Tang, I'll bet 10 also, Li Zheng suddenly raised his hand. Zhang Qinghua was stunned, you too. Yet, wanted to try a different way to relax. MMM. Lin Yujing also waved frantically from a distance, Hu Yubin, 10 times. Zhang Qinghua looked at the two competing, his previously excited face suddenly cooled. He picked up his pen, and harshly wrote in his notebook, show hand, hey, I'll show you to death, show you, guys. Click, click. High heels echoed in the hallway. The volume in the class dropped suddenly. Those youthful and seductive steps. Many boys couldn't contain themselves. Bam! The door opened. Wow! It was Sun Xiaobin. Instant deflation. Look at you all, look at you, it's only been a day since teacher Hu left, look at you. Sun Xiaobin raised her hand, I'm here to introduce your new class teacher. Following her gesture, a female teacher in a dark-colored dress timidly slid in. Long straight hair, bangs over her forehead, holding her lesson plans, eyes full of seriousness, with a hint of anxiety. Lu Xin pounded the desk and exclaimed, Yees! Not just him, almost all the boys in the class exploded. Yet. Teacher Tang. Awesome! Sun Xiaobin could not control the scene at all. She turned and ran out to call the sports department. Li Zheng looked at teacher Xiao Tang, nodded slightly, and smiled without saying anything. He completely understood his classmates' excitement. You could almost say. The only class they could focus on was teacher Xiao Tang's. It's like watching a movie, it has to start with beautiful visuals to grab attention. Then, the interesting storytelling pulls you into the learning state. But that wasn't enough. What mattered more was the rhythm. Only a reasonable rhythm could keep the audience, keep the students' attention for a long time. Teacher Xiao Tang was without a doubt a master of rhythm, balancing tension and relaxation. Just when you were about to get sleepy, she always had a way to pull you back. However, teacher Xiao Tang was not flawless. Just like with films, sometimes too flashy visual effects can overshadow the story itself. For Lu Xin, he wasn't listening to the lesson, he was watching the lesson. The same class, Li Zheng's enthusiasm spiked when teacher Xiao Tang introduced a new concept. For Lu Xin, his excitement only peaked when teacher Xiao Tang stepped off the podium. Only then could he see everything below her skirt. And that would immediately fire him up. Just like a film can have two interpretations. Their same class had two completely different rhythms. All right. Teacher Xiao Tang raised her arms anxiously at the chaotic class, if you keep this up, the head will remove me. Silence. Boys and girls, all shut up. They flushed red and said nothing. Teacher Xiao Tang wiped her sweat, turned to Sun Xiaobin, and said, Look, director, I can handle it. Sun Xiaobin, doubtful but relenting, put down the phone and poked her head back in, her tone threatening, anyone who dares to bully teacher Xiao Tang, and I'll replace her. Chapter 31. Why should she be responsible for others' behavior? This doesn't make any sense. However, the tactic was very effective. Under Sun Xiaobin's threat, everyone in the class sat up straight. Lu Xin even clasped his hands behind his back, his eyes bright, resembling a middle-aged man, yet radiating the energy of an elementary school student. Indeed, he was worthy of being the director. All right, Sun Xiaobin said, patting teacher Xiao Tang's shoulder, from today, class 2-4 is in your hands. Thank you for the school's trust, teacher Xiao Tang said, bowing deeply with her lesson plan in hand. The boys craned their necks, watching her bow deeply. After a brief introduction, teacher Xiao Tang closed the classroom door, walked to the podium, and put down the lesson plan. Then, nervously glancing to the side to make sure Sun Xiaobin had walked away, she suddenly winked and said, "Now you can be happy for a while, 15 seconds, keep the volume down, don't call Director Sun back." The students immediately relaxed. Ah! Lu Xin slumped back into his usual posture, "From today, I love studying." Zhang Qinghua was calculating the odds in frustration, this doesn't make sense. Lin Yujing was even more frustrated, her eyes spinning in a daze. As they say, small gambles are entertaining. Li Zheng was feeling quite entertained. One duty shift of half an hour. 10 shifts equal 5 hours. Gaining 10 more hours of study time than Lin Yujing by cutting down on other activities. Happy times. All right, 15 seconds are up. Come on, let's introduce ourselves again. Teacher Xiao Tang picked up a piece of chalk and carefully wrote 3 upright Chinese characters on the blackboard. Tang's Haifei. A name that didn't quite match her. Teacher Xiao Tang put down the chalk and turned to bow slightly. "It's a great honor to spend the upcoming high school days with all of you. Rise." Zhang Qinghua called out as he stood up. The whole class stood up, bowed in greeting. "Please sit." Tang's Haifei smiled and waved for everyone to sit down. Seeing the bright and energetic eyes of her students, she felt a familiar happiness. More than a year ago, she had also been a homeroom teacher for a few weeks. Even though a lot had happened since then. At this moment, this feeling of determination and the anticipation of growing together with these 40-plus students, it was still so strong. This time, she wouldn't back down. Studying isn't the entirety of life. Tang's Haifei's gaze grew firm, but helping these 44 students in front of me to pass the college entrance exam with the best results, to face the next chapter of their lives, is the teacher's whole purpose. If any of you look back on your high school life in the future with regret, feeling frustrated for not being in the right state, feeling remorse for missing golden opportunities, then all of it is the teacher's responsibility. You don't need to blindly follow me. You just need to give me a chance to help you. Key class students aren't necessarily smarter than you, they're just running ahead of you prematurely. The teacher is determined to help you surpass them this semester. Tang's Haifei made a round mouth and raised her fist. Let's do this. For every student, for our class 2-4 collective. Also for myself, and for each and every one of you. Let's do this. Let's do this. Li Zheng followed, raising his fist. 7 or 8 more students were also inspired. Li Zheng only then realized that not many were keeping up with this rhythm. Presumably, the goal of surpassing the key class seemed too distant. Li Zheng is quite energetic today, too. Tang's Haifei raised her hand and smiled. There are many more trivial words about discipline, the teacher won't say much here. They will be explained in the class group and the parent group. What's urgent now is to tackle the immediate small goal. The midterm exam. I have fully understood the situation of our class. No worries, it's only been over a month this semester, it's not impossible to catch up. The real issue of our class isn't that everyone isn't trying or isn't smart. It's the variance. Simply put, the individual grades in our class vary greatly. This makes it hard for the teacher to teach to the majority of students. No matter what pace is chosen, some students won't understand, and others will find it unnecessary to listen. The final result is, some students give up listening, while others cannot keep up. This is the sole reason we are currently behind. The students were shocked. Teacher Xiao Tang's analysis was spot on. It made a lot of sense. More importantly, 100% of the students had personally experienced this. Hu Chunmi's math class primarily catered to students who didn't understand well, leading to a slower pace. Physics class had an incredibly fast pace, seeming to be tailored just for Lin Yujing, Li Zheng, and Zhang Qinghua. English class had no pace at all, just monotonous chanting. Chemistry class, passionately delivered chanting. Biology class, the official sleep session. In short, the opportunities to effectively listen to the lessons were very few. Only in Chinese class, where teacher Xiao Tang constantly changed the pace, adding her personal charisma, was she barely able to maintain a decent rate of attentiveness. Seeing the students' convinced expressions, Tang's Haifei was filled with enthusiasm. Next, the teacher will use many methods to solve this contradiction. Most of these methods, you don't need to know. You just need to know that in the midterm exam, everyone has a chance to be the first in the class. As she spoke, she wrote on the blackboard. In the midterm exam, the top 5 in the class will receive the class inspirational scholarship, a commendation letter handwritten by the teacher, and customized personal gifts. In addition, the top 3 can freely choose their seats for the second half of the semester. The room filled with disappointed murmurs. Most people felt no motivation. Instead, they felt despair. Lin Yujing, Li Zheng, and Zhang Qinghua were the unshakable top 3. The other students didn't even have the right to think about it. This seemed like handing benefits to those 3. Once the noise quieted down a bit, Tang's Haifei continued. I know, you think these are rewards predetermined for Lin Yujing, Li Zheng, and Zhang Qinghua. That's not the case at all. The teacher said, everyone has a chance. Please pay attention. This time our class ranking isn't solo competition. It's a team battle. Teams of 2 or 3, ranked by the group's average score. As for team assignments, the teacher will take care of it. The teacher will use the monthly exam results as a reference and ensure each group's average monthly exam score is similar through strict calculations. To put it simply, each group's initial strength level is the same. In the coming month, whoever improves the most, they will be the first. The students finally understood her plan. It was like team matching in a game. Teacher Xiao Tang would ensure each team's strength was as equal as possible. This way, every team had a chance to be first. Lin Yujing might be unbeatable personally. But according to teacher Xiao Tang's team assignment method, no doubt, her partner would be Lu Xian. To deal with a monster. Only another monster. Hum. Lin Yujing hummed 5 times in a row, gripping the desk with both hands, her whole body turning green. Even Lu Xian understood, oh, I can be first, too, and as a positive number. This might be fun. Zhang Qinghua muttered, glancing at Li Zheng. Thinking carefully, if he got into the top 3 and used the seating privileges to force a seat swap with Li Zheng, then Li Zheng would be on this side of the wall, Lin Yujing still by the window. And he would be in between them. Ha ha ha. Though he had no chance. But blocking in the middle, being a huge light bulb, shining so brightly they couldn't see each other anymore, was something he was looking forward to. No way, losers are just this humble. Swoosh. Li Zheng suddenly raised his hand. Teacher Tang, I'd like to understand the detailed rules for choosing seats. Upon hearing this, Zhang Qinghua and Lin Yujing both tensed up. Indeed. This guy had calculated this far ahead, too. It's sequential choice, Tang's Haifei replied. First, the team that gets first place will choose, the higher scorer within the team chooses first. Next, the second place team chooses, out of the remaining seats. Don't worry if you get swapped out, the teacher will rearrange seats as needed, trying to maintain your habits. So, Li Zheng nodded, as long as the team score is first and the individual score within the team is higher, I can sit in any seat in the class. Yes, but if you're second place, you'll have to choose from the remaining seats, Tang's Haifei replied. Doesn't matter, I only need to know the first place privileges. Li Zheng unconsciously tilted his head to the right. Yes, just there. Midsection by the window, the prime spot. In winter, ample sunlight. In summer, minimal direct sun. Just enough to avoid the air conditioning draft. Feet warmed by the radiator. Always open for ventilation. With a great view of the cherry trees by the lake across. Most importantly, it's a single seat, no desk mate. Even speed reading wouldn't be disturbed. Hum. Lin Yujing's eyes grew fiercer, her nails digging into the desk. Feeling her territory threatened, she no longer hid her unapproachable aura. Zhang Qinghua silently enjoyed their standoff. Unknowingly, a smirk appeared on his lips. You too, don't underestimate the twisted mindset of a loser. Remember, this is a team battle. The core element isn't your individual grades. It's communication and social skills. Fortunes change. This round is my stage. I'll be blocking between you two. Let it snow. Freeze you both. Realization. Cause you agony. In fact, it wasn't just the three of them. Other students were also beginning to ignite some sparks among themselves. This rule to compete for first place was extremely unfavorable to the top three in the class. Especially Lin Yujing. Since she would most likely team up with a monster like Lu Xin. On the other hand, students in the middle ranks might end up with steady teammates. Like the barrel effect. Sometimes, a team's strength depends on its weakest link. No matter how extraordinary Lin Yujing was, her scores would still be dragged down by Lu Xin. Tang's Haifei looked at the eager students, feeling a bit smug. Heh. Little ones. You've fallen into my trap. She proudly wiped her nose, hiding the deep strategy within. Chapter 32. Let me make this clear, some students might not like this activity, she said. No problem, you can completely ignore it as if it doesn't exist, she continued. We will only be counting the top 5 this time, so if your scores aren't great, it doesn't mean anything, she added. Moreover, this activity will only happen once. Now, let's announce the groupings, she said. First group, Lin Yujing and Lu Xin. Yes. Lu Xin punched the air. Got a strong teammate, we're definitely winning. Ugh. Lin Yujing banged her head on the table in despair. Second group, Li Zheng and Zhang Xiaok. The whole class was momentarily stunned. The second to last, just above Lu Xin, shouldn't that be Zhang Yu? Who is this Zhang Xiaok? Zhang Xiaok will probably report in the afternoon, Tang's Haifei explained. She's a transfer student and took our school's monthly exam yesterday. Based on her scores, Li Zheng will be her partner. Li Zheng frowned. Though he didn't like Zhang Yu. If calculated as a whole, Li Zheng and Zhang Yu was actually slightly stronger than Lin Yujing and Lu Xin. This time, they put him with an unknown factor, her exam scores were even lower than Zhang Yu's. This was going to be tough. Third group, Zhang Qinghua and Zhang Yu. Yo-ho! Zhang Yu looked very satisfied and tossed a flirtatious glance at Zhang Qinghua. Zhang Qinghua had just been run over by a tank the previous day. Now he was paired with this strong-willed person. He was also deeply affected. But when he thought about Lin Yujing teaming up with Lu Xin, his twisted loser mentality felt somewhat comforted. Soon, all the students knew their groups. Some groups were of 2 people, some of 3. Even though they hadn't calculated it themselves, they could roughly feel that the average monthly exam scores of each group were similar. Approximately between 460 and 470. This margin of error was negligible. As for first place, it was indeed possible for anyone, but also very difficult to achieve. The fortunate thing was that the top 5 would receive rewards this time. And each reward was for a team, not just an individual. So out of the more than 40 people in the class, at least 10 could get a reward. The opportunities were not only fair but plentiful. This got everyone motivated. For the entire period, Tang's Haifei focused on psychological building, allowing everyone to freely voice their opinions. Class 4 hadn't had such a relaxing class in a long time. As soon as the bell rang, several groups hurriedly gathered together. Without a doubt, some of them had already started preparing. We have a good chance, being in the same team, one student said. Yeah, you help me with physics, and I'll help you with English, the other replied. Perfect. What seat should we pick? It doesn't matter. The highest scholarship prize is $500, that's almost enough for a 10-pull. $500 is very enticing, but I'm more looking forward to teacher Xiao Tang's custom-made gift. Do you think we could ask her to let us choose ourselves? I think it's doable. Hehe. What if we could choose teacher Xiao Tang's personal items? Hehe. Class 4 of the second year became increasingly lively. Zhang Yu, also carrying her notebook, squeezed herself beside Zhang Qinghua, forcibly bumping into him. Zhang Shui, you have to tutor me well, she demanded. Let's talk during lunch. Zhang Qinghua said, backing into the wall, struggling to maintain a smile. Then, how about the pavilion in the little garden? Zhang Yu suggested, raising her eyebrows. No way, it's too dangerous there. Let's go to the playground, Zhang Qinghua said, clutching his chest. Ugh, too many people will see us there. Zhang Yu pouted, twiddling her fingers. This shameless person suddenly got shy. Zhang Qinghua had it rough. He realized a terrifying fact. To guide Zhang Yu in studying, he might have to sell his looks. Is it worth it? Meanwhile, Lin Yujing picked up her notebook and stormed over to Lu Xin's desk. Bam! She slammed everything down in one fell swoop. Her eyes shot deadly lasers. Start tutoring. Sis, please, no. Lu Xin looked up, frowning. How about I just cheer for you from behind? Bam! She slapped the desk with both hands. Showed her claws. Scratch. Ultra fierce. Start tutoring. Alright, alright, alright. Lu Xin reluctantly opened his textbook. He felt that the days ahead would be tough. Feeling the growing studying atmosphere and seeing Lu Xin with a brand new textbook open, Li Zheng couldn't sit still. Zhang Xiok, where are you? How come you still haven't reported in? If this keeps going, Lu Xin will surpass him. A $500 study grant, the prestigious top seat. This was a once-in-3-year chance. Meanwhile, at the small window on the classroom's back door, a small head gradually emerged, followed by a pair of very serious eyes. Tang's Haifei was secretly observing, seeing small groups of students discussing their studies together. She smiled. Sister Chunmei, you wouldn't have seen this coming. Our class 4 also has this day. She kept smiling, then quietly ducked back down. There's a long road ahead, and this was just the beginning. Next, she needed to work the subject teachers. Let's see how I lead this class to success. Thinking about it, she burst out in laughter again. Hee hee. She was drooling. Teacher Tao, who was rushing to class, was startled and hurriedly came over. Dear, what's Lu Xin done to you? Ah, nothing, nothing. Tang's Haifei quickly wiped off her drool, hooking her arm around Teacher Tao's. My dear, I've just worked on their mindset, can you help by speaking a bit slower today? Since you asked, of course, Teacher Tao said, adjusting her glasses. Though I've tried it before, it doesn't seem to do much, most don't listen. Instead, maybe we should focus on the top students to possibly get more into top universities. Yeah, that's a smart approach, Tang's Haifei whispered closely. But today, I've dosed them, so give it half a period and see if it makes a difference. If not, we can adjust back. Okay. Teacher Tao peeked inside through the window. She was dumbfounded. This class. They were actually discussing their studies? Most of the class, holding their monthly exam papers, critiquing each other's work. Good heavens! Lu Xin's textbooks were even open. Yet Li Zheng was sitting alone, reading leisure books, completely out of sync with the surroundings. Teacher Tao looked at Tang's Haifei in bafflement. I thought dosed was a metaphor, did you actually dose them? Hee hee. Tang's Haifei winked. Give them a chance, they might just surpass class 1. That's a bit tough, Teacher Tao said, adjusting her glasses. But if they keep pace with me, getting the top 3 in physics is a piece of cake. It's all in your hands, my dear, Tang's Haifei said with palms together, her eyes twinkling. If we're not last in the midterms, I'll introduce you to a super reliable man. Chapter 33. Oh dear, no matter how eager you are, they won't be back from abroad until next month. Tang's Haifei picked up his phone and opened a picture of a man from his moments, casually showing a muscle fitness photo. He's in artificial intelligence, just finished his PhD, and a few major companies in the country have already made offers. Teacher Tao looked at those strong muscles, feeling a bit dizzy, then, my condition, is it? Your conditions are great, don't worry. And though he looks good and strong, he's not actually that tall, not up to your 180 centimeters requirement. Oh, this height isn't that strict really, as long as it's close enough. Teacher Tao was completely confused. Anyway, once he's back, I'll immediately set you two up. Oh, 1000k. Teacher Tao got excited and waved the teaching material. These little brats, leave them to me. Good luck. After sending Teacher Tao away, Tang's Haifei silently took out a notebook and crossed off a name. Hee hee. This morning, Lake Ying Middle School, covered currents surged. The Queen of Schemes had unlocked herself. This morning, Li Zheng, however, had a hard time. Clearly, he still had vitality value, but couldn't study. He could only read light books or close his eyes to rest. Even more frustrating, his classmates around him were all studying. The attendance rate in physics class was terrifyingly high. Teacher Xiao Tao, like being drugged, taught passionately and asked questions frequently. Almost half of the class was questioned. Class 2-4, usually the place with the poorest learning atmosphere. At the moment, there's a slight touch of vitality. Li Zheng was anxious. Zhang Xiok, hurry up and come out. Even Lu Xian knows Ma now. If you delay any longer, it will be too late. Li Zheng had no way, he couldn't rush it either. He could only take care of himself first. After lunch, he sorted out past chemistry exams, and carried a stack of notebooks and textbooks to the 4th floor. The domain of seniors, still full of academic power. Li Zheng, with awe in his heart, approached the door of Class 1 for seniors and peeked inside. Most were napping, a few were reviewing. Only Xiao Bixia was doing plank exercises in front of the platform. No one seemed to think there was anything wrong with that. At this moment, a girl in the front row saw Li Zheng, squinted and smiled, then turned around and said to the back, "Mensi, your little puppy junior is here." Upon hearing this, those who were resting stopped resting, those who were reviewing stopped reviewing, even Xiao Bixia stood up. A bunch of people all looked towards the door where Li Zheng stood. Li Zheng felt very uncomfortable. How could the smart kids of senior year be so rude? Su Mensi suddenly woke up, hurriedly put down the Totoro pillow, and ran up with a red face. By the way, she pinched the ear of the girl who made the fuss, "Don't talk nonsense." "Haha, who told you to spoil him with your chemistry notes?" Su Mensi, with her head down, left the classroom and, just like last time, pushed Li Zheng far away before stopping. "Did I disturb you?" Li Zheng felt a bit embarrassed. It's fine, it's fine." Su Mensi shook her hand vigorously, "Head down, they're just talking nonsense, don't mind them." "What does little puppy mean?" It just means, a young, cute boy." Li Zheng was displeased. He didn't like the adjective cute. "Where am I not a strong man?" Su Mensi rubbed her face for a long time before looking up. Just return the textbooks and senior notes to me, I'll give them back to you after school, and return them to me by next Friday." "No need, I've already grasped your study techniques." Li Zheng nodded openly, "And recently, I've been strangely flush with cash, I've already bought all the senior chemistry materials online ahead of time." "So, is there anything you don't understand?" "I've got the knowledge points, remaining is just practice." Li Zheng turned to ask, "Are you familiar with teacher Sun Liang? Our class teacher arranged his tutoring session for me, is there anything I should be aware of?" "Wow, your teacher has great connections." Su Mensi tapped her chin, thinking while talking, "Well, teacher Sun's appearance is, how to say, not very kind looking. At first, I was a bit scared, but actually, he's an excellent teacher. The only issue is his schedule, he can only come for half a day each week." "No problem, I never judge people by their appearance." "Then how come you and Jing Jing?" Su Mensi covered her face and laughed, "Is our Jing Jing's heart black? She really is black-hearted. Damn." As they were talking, a giant figure came crashing over. "What are y'all talking about?" "I'm judging people by their looks." Li Zheng hurriedly handed a big stack of material to Xiao Bixia, "Please take it back for me, thanks." "Why be so polite with your sister Xia?" Xiao Bixia didn't hesitate, took the materials and said with a hearty laugh, "Kid, you come to our class every day, what's the deal? Vitality value. Stop right there." Li Zheng turned and ran. "Hey, that kid." Xiao Bixia's face blushed, feeling quite pleased, "Always looks shy around me, and avoids my gaze on the basketball court, isn't he just making me overthink?" Su Mensi kindly reminded, Sister Xia, actually all the boys are like that with you." "No, this kid is different from the others, he's especially rebellious." Xiao Bixia pursed her lips and turned back, "Oh dear, if it weren't for senior year, I would definitely have a good duel with him." Su Mensi pushed her back with a smile, "Isn't dealing with Zhang Shui and Hu Yubin enough? Leave some resources for others." Can't say, can't say." Xiao Bixia looked back with a fierce look, "This kid has a unique vibe, just makes me especially want to duel." "Haha, you better focus on preparing for the college entrance exam. Su Mensi turned Xiao Bixia's head back. Li Zheng is so good at basketball, once he shows up in next week's basketball game, he might get attention from the younger schoolgirls. Nonsense, have those younger schoolgirls ever played basketball with him? Can they compete with him physically? As expected of Sister Xia, you really understand boys. Li Zheng fled all the way to the door of the chemistry department office on the west side before daring to look back. It wasn't easy. Finally, Su Mensi managed to send her back. Clearly tried to avoid as much as possible, but still got noticed. He adjusted his mood, took a deep breath, then raised his hand and knocked on the door. Come in. A loud female voice came from inside. Hearing this voice, Li Zheng felt uneasy. But there was no choice, he had already come, so he pushed the door and went in. Inside the office, Yu Hong was sitting at the desk, eating takeaway roast duck. Any questions? Yu Hong glanced at Li Zheng, then continued to focus on rolling up the duck pancake. The results from the monthly test are already graded, but we're not reissuing the report card, just calculate it yourself. Thank you, Teacher Yu. Li Zheng braced himself and asked, will Teacher Sun Liang come here before class? Yes, he will stop by. Only after answering did Yu Hong realize something was off. You're looking for him? Yes. Yu Hong then looked at the papers in Li Zheng's hands. Li Zheng, if you have any opinions, just say it straight. Yu Hong finished the pancake in a few bites, wiping her hands as she spoke, am I not good enough to teach you? The change was too sudden. Li Zheng was flustered. If you ask whether or not. Of course, it's not. So. Please don't ask. Isn't it good to understand each other without words? You insist on asking. How should I answer? It's okay, just say it. Yu Hong nodded, I'm straightforward with everyone. Li Zheng had to respond, I just can't seem to grasp chemistry, so I want to try out different teaching styles, see if it helps. Does Teacher Sun have time? Yu Hong then asked, need me to put in a word? No need, I've already contacted him, thank you, teacher. Already contacted. Yu Hong thought for a while and then replied, Teacher Sun is an excellent teacher from Rendafu, he leads the student team in the Olympiads, his level is definitely above mine. Since you've already contacted him, you can give it a try. Yu Hong then started cleaning up the fast food container, sit wherever, he'll be here soon. Li Zheng took his seat, not daring to say more. A little later, Yu Hong left with the container. Li Zheng wiped off his sweat, relieved to have survived. Though Teacher Yu always followed the book, her personality was quite commendable. After 2 or 3 minutes, a worn-out male teacher in a long coat entered. Typical bald hairstyle, silver-rimmed glasses. Arched eyebrows, blurry eyes. Though a teacher, his face carried the sleaziness that middle-aged men couldn't avoid. It was him, no doubt. Teacher Sunday. Li Zheng stood up to greet him. Oh, it's Li Zheng. Sun Liang placed his briefcase down, sniffed the air while taking off his coat. Who's eating roast duck at this hour? Does your school have such good food? Probably a teacher ordered it themselves. Li Zheng helped hang the coat on the rack. Must be Yu Hong, she eats whatever pops into her mind, never repeats in a month. Sun Liang smiled and sat down, how about Chun Miai? Already hospitalized, surgery soon. Li Zheng grabbed the papers and moved a chair closer. That's good, that's good. Sun Liang stopped talking, he quickly scanned through Li Zheng's papers. Conceptual questions score high. Analysis questions not so good. A slight twist in the formula and you're confused. It's okay, don't lose heart. Chun Miai said you're good in other sciences, so it's not a matter of aptitude. Alright, I brought a freshman test paper, do it on the spot, Sun Liang said, taking a small stack of papers from his briefcase. He picked one and handed it to Li Zheng. My papers are thorough, they will expose issues, do it well, I'll also review your past mistakes, see if I can summarize something. Thank you, teacher. Li Zheng quickly took the paper, but his eyes were glued to Sun Liang's briefcase. Sun Liang, the top high school chemistry teacher. His papers must be extremely intricate and ingenious, solving just a few would be highly enlightening. He wanted to do it. Even touching it would be great. Li Zheng couldn't control himself, clutching the elementary paper without moving. Seeing this, Sun Liang laughed, the other ones are for our school's students, you insist on doing them, won't they make you cry? Still want to do it? Li Zheng was completely losing it. Oh my! Sun Liang scratched his bald head and laughed, Chunmi, I was right, I've never met a student like you. Alright, if you can finish the elementary paper within 15 minutes and score above 85, I'll give you another one. Li Zheng slid his chair to the next desk, tore open his pen bag, and started writing furiously. Damn it! Isn't this what vitality value is for? Chapter 34. The more he looked, the more uncomfortable he felt. This kid clearly had no talent for chemistry. Forget talent, he didn't even have a bit of affinity for it. Anything slightly beyond the textbook's fixed concepts or formulas, he got wrong. Who's teaching you chemistry? Teacher Yu Hong. What? Sun Liang was flustered, feeling like he was listening to a fast-forwarded cassette from 20 years ago. Slow down, say it slowly. Li Zheng quickly adjusted his speaking speed, Teacher Yu Hong. Oh, now I get it. Sun Liang pursed his lips and said no more. He had attended Yu Hong's public class too. Honestly, it was less engaging than listening to the radio. There was basically no guidance, leaving students to figure things out on their own. Students with a strong affinity for chemistry could manage by putting more effort, but those who were slightly lacking would easily despair. He himself only listened for the first 3 minutes before unknowingly falling asleep. So, after that public class, Yu Hong was rated as a senior teacher. No help for it, her partner was too influential. A title wasn't a big deal, but the troublesome part was that she cared too much about face and insisted on teaching advanced classes. This year, the chemistry grades for Lake Ying's sophomore class wouldn't be good, he suspected. While he was pondering, Yu Hong pushed open the door and came in, radiating authority. You're here. Sun Liang stood up and greeted her with a smile. Old son, don't just help Chunmi and not me, Yu Hong said after returning the greeting, leading a student into the office. This is Lin Yujing from class 4. She's not worse than the students at your school. Could you give her some pointers? Oh. Sun Liang was a bit taken aback, looking at the girl following behind. The girl was hiding behind Yu Hong, clutching a cartoon spaceship pencil case. She greeted him respectfully, but still seemed shy. Sun Liang instinctively scratched his bald spot. Appearance-wise, she certainly wasn't inferior to students at their school. However, as for her grades, it's not that he looked down on Yu Hong. But compared to Ren University-affiliated high school, you really didn't have anyone who could compete. What surprised him even more was that the usually arrogant Yu Hong was actually bringing her student here to seek advice. 2 possibilities. 1. Yu Hong had changed. But this was unlikely. So it could only be that this student was truly talented. Before Sun Liang could say anything, Lin Yujing suddenly went hey. Then she hid behind the door, clutching the edge, gritting her teeth and staring. Sun Liang followed her gaze. It was Li Zheng, who was working on a problem set at his desk. Sun Liang smiled, finding it very interesting, and his expression turned a bit sly. This wasn't his intention, it was purely an issue of appearance. Lin Yujing shrank even more. Yujing, don't be shy, Yu Hong said, holding Lin Yujing's hand. Your chemistry talent should take you to the Olympiad, but you know, our school doesn't have the resources for that. Teacher Sun finally has time today, don't miss this opportunity. Under Yu Hong's pull, Lin Yujing had no choice but to tremblingly step into the room. She turned her head to look at the wall. Sun Liang awkwardly smiled, young lady, although I don't look very kind, I've worked in this field for almost 20 years. Yujing. Yu Hong tugged on Lin Yujing and said, you haven't greeted the teacher yet. Teacher, hello. Lin Yujing reluctantly greeted. Yu Hong quickly said, I'm really sorry, old Sunday. It's fine, I'm used to it. The girls at our school avoided me at first too. Sun Liang swallowed his bitterness and pulled out a test paper from the bottom of his briefcase. This one is entirely first-year knowledge, not up to Olympiad level but tougher than any public exam papers. There's still 40 minutes before class starts, just do what you can. Thank you, teacher. Lin Yujing took the test paper and immediately fled to the farthest corner, pulling up a chair, setting her pencil case, and started working seriously. Yu Hong also pulled up a chair to chat with Sun Liang. How's Li Zheng doing? Yu Hong asked. Not very adaptable, Sun Liang whispered, he's really not cut out for chemistry. I could see that myself, Yu Hong sighed, glancing at Li Zheng, but he's actually the most hardworking student in the whole school. With such effort, he shouldn't be doing poorly, but look at his monthly exam, just barely passing. Yu Hong naturally didn't mention her own oversight in the exam questions. Sun Liang glanced at that question on the test paper and guessed most of it too, but of course, he wouldn't say it. To be honest, Teacher Yu, with Li Zheng's situation, I'm also at a loss. Sun Liang pursed his lips. You know, a test like this, our students would score over 90, and I've never really had students scoring below 80 in my whole teaching career. I really don't know how to guide, honestly, for something this simple, how can someone not get it? Yeah, I think the same, Yu Hong said with regret. How do you find teaching the senior advanced class? To be frank, pretty average, like finding the tallest dwarf. Sun Liang reflected, that class representative Su Mensi, she's quite reliable. Though she appears silent, she understands. And then there's Xiao Bixia. She looks like she's not on the same wavelength, but when it comes to solving problems, she's decisive. I don't know Su Mensi, but Xiao Bixia is quite famous. Yu Hong covered her face with her hands, laughing, I put a lot of effort into walking, but I still have to dodge her when I see her. Ha ha ha. After laughing, Sun Liang pointed towards Li Zheng and patted his briefcase. This Li Zheng is quite interesting. He knows he can't do it, yet he's determined to challenge my tough problems. Admirable spirit, really. Yes, despite his average grades, he's very persistent, Yu Hong commented. So, what paper is he working on now? A rather basic one. Sun Liang looked at his watch. Given his skill level, finishing in 40 minutes would be an achievement. Getting a passing score might be tough. Suddenly, bang! He slammed down his pen. Li Zheng wiped off some sweat and stood up quickly. Has it been 15 minutes, Teacher Sun? Sun Liang gulped. It's only been 10. Li Zheng had no choice. His speed was just too fast. If it weren't for the writing speed constraint, he could actually finish in 2 minutes. Even writing briskly, 5 or 6 minutes would suffice. He could only check 7 or 8 times with the remaining time. Ideally, he should slow down a bit, spend a few extra minutes, and submit it to appear normal. But he didn't want to waste a single second of his time with Sun Liang. If Su Mensi was a chemistry angel, then Sun Liang was the chemistry old wizard. How could he miss this chance? Sun Liang suspiciously took the test paper, adjusted his glasses, and casually scanned through it. The writing nearly filled up the page. Damn! He suddenly slapped his bald spot. Are you messing with me? Yu Hong was also flustered, ignoring Sun Liang's crude words. This is too fast. Li Zheng, have you done this paper before? Chapter 35. A moment later, he smacked the paper and turned angrily towards Li Zheng. Li Zheng, what are you messing around for? Don't you know my time is very tight? What's the point of this pretense? Li Zheng had nothing to say. Don't be mad, old son. Yu Hong hurriedly tried to console him. I assure you, his grades are really poor. He had no intention of fooling you. This is poor. Sun Liang pointed at the paper. 94 points, just based on first-year knowledge. He's almost at average level for rendezvous. Coupled with this speed of solving problems, I really don't know how to describe it. Li Zheng. Yu Hong asked, what have you been doing these past 2 days? Well, I asked Su Mensi from the senior key class to tutor me, and borrowed her notes. I've been grinding the knowledge we've learned, probably for about 20 hours. No sleep. Yu Hong exclaimed. Yet. Li Zheng clenched his fist. With my grades, what right do I have to sleep? You're pretty ruthless. Sun Liang was also shocked. Is your brain still functioning normally? I feel great. What a load of crap, this kid's turning into a demon. Sun Liang finally held back from saying it. I'll believe you for now. Sun Liang quickly produced the same paper that Lin Yujing had. Time is short, give this a try, hand it in when the preparatory bell rings, do as much as you can. Thank you, teacher. Li Zheng took the paper and went back to start. Throughout, he didn't even notice Lin Yujing. But Lin Yujing heard their conversation clearly. She felt very uneasy. Chemistry was the subject in which she completely outclassed Li Zheng. How could he catch up so easily? Su Mensi. Traitor. Backstabber. I'll bite you. She couldn't think too much, and continued solving problems at lightning speed. The more she did, the more annoyed she became. These questions were really hard. But every time she glanced at Li Zheng, she saw him in that terrifying quantum state. She could only tearfully press on. Like a cat forced to work. So pitiful. On the other side, the two teachers were also unsure. Yu Hong was even more uncertain. Su Menxi's one-day effort. More effective than my whole semester? Sun Liang quickly raised his hand to calm Yu Hong. Every student is different. Perhaps for some particular students, Su Menxi's approach is more effective. Yu Hong picked up Li Zheng's recently completed paper and scrutinized it. This is quite good, though it's still not as good as Lin Yujing's, but he's gotten all the points a normal person would. Yes, the missing 6 points are from the tough questions, without special training it's hard to get them. Sun Liang patted Yu Hong on the shoulder. If he wasn't bluffing, this Li Zheng is not simple, fixing a shattered foundation solidly in one night. Still, it's Su Menxi's method that worked. In the end, you are the expert. Yu Hong laughed. Ah, with your praise, I have no choice but to accept. Sun Liang laughed, rubbing his bald spot, looking sly. By the way, teacher Sun, a little suggestion. When you meet new students, try not to smile. On the other side, Li Zheng faced the advanced test. It was extremely difficult. The questions looked simple, all first-year basic knowledge points. But why were they so hard to solve? For example, a mixture of KCl, NaCl, and NaCO has a molar mass fraction of Na of 31.5% and Cl of 27.08%. Calculate the mass fraction of NaCO in the mixture. These three compounds and their reactions in ionic states had been studied. It wasn't difficult. But to actually calculate it, even Li Zheng now would take a long time to find a solution. This was still relatively simple, a problem with a solvable approach. There were more problems that were hard to even understand. It was overwhelmingly difficult. Though Li Zheng found solving the problems made his scalp tingle. But he had to admit, Sun Liang's papers were brilliant. Like playing a super hard, super brutal game. For true hardcore gamers, the more they died, the happier they got. Li Zheng had long forgotten about time, or about his study plan. He completely entered an amazing problem-solving state. Solving problems should actually be being challenged by problems. Most people would become increasingly desperate. But there are always some who grow braver in the face of setbacks. At some point, his mind suddenly cleared. Chemistry, 8-3. Subject frenzy, task completed. 20 game coins, credited. Gained new buff. Chemistry frenzy, chemistry learning efficiency increased by 100%, effective only at the basic level. Ah! Unconsciously, he had become one with the problems. Just like that, inadvertently. In problem solving, he completed it. In the battle against the sea of problems, he got enlightened. Training through battle, nothing more. At his moment of excitement, the preparatory bell rang. Li Zheng immediately put down his pen. He always strictly adhered to discipline, saying it was time meant it was time. Only then did he realize the paper was already soaked with sweat droplets. Every bit represented his efforts. Li Zheng. Sun Liang looked at his appearance and said a bit fearfully, "You still need to sleep. The human brain, if too tired, will get damaged." "It's fine. Just right." Li Zheng picked up the paper and walked towards Sun Liang. Only then did he see Lin Yujing was also present. Even after the bell had rung, Lin Yujing was still furiously calculating on scratch paper. Her writing was disordered, looking miserable. Completely lacking her usual grace in answering questions. Li Zheng chuckled. It seemed, Lin Yujing was certainly in pain. Indeed, these difficult problems were painful. But unfortunately, you're still stuck in the previous level fighting against the pain. While I had already integrated with the pain, enjoying the struggle. Given time, I would eventually surpass you. And stare back at you. Both teachers didn't mind Lin Yujing fussing over a few extra minutes. They picked up Li Zheng's paper and began to evaluate. Being able to answer this much is not easy. Sun Liang silently calculated the scores in his mind. A few seconds later, he put down the paper and sighed deeply. 59 points, what a pity. Not a pity, teacher. A miss is a miss. Li Zheng sincerely nodded. This paper, he had actually spent more than 7 hours on. Equivalent to several times the time a normal person would need, this result was already the limit of cheating. A miss is a miss, nothing more to say. I have to say, I really like your attitude. Sun Liang nodded with a smile, then slyly, this was our school's first-year final exam, do you know what the average score was then? What was it? 63. Sun Liang pursed his lips, in such a short time, reaching this level is already quite remarkable. As he said this, he pulled out another piece of paper and handed it to Li Zheng, this is the standard answer and the approach, take it and compare. Make sure not to share it, return it to me next week, same time, same place as today, and I'll tutor you again then and give you a new paper. Thank you, teacher. Li Zheng bowed in excitement. What was this? This was Sun Liang's special tutoring. Priceless. Compared to this, Buffett's dinner was nothing. Lin Yujing, hand in your paper too. Yu Hong turned his head to urge, teacher Sun is about to start class. Chapter 36. Sun Liang looked it over again. This time, unlike when he faced Li Zheng, he was pleasantly surprised, his delight written all over his face, and his shiny bald spot even seemed a bit shinier. A moment later. 95 points. This would be one of the best scores back at our place too. Sun Liang's mouth hung open, and he turned to look at Lin Yujing, are you going to participate in the Olympics? Lin Yujing was so startled she took half a step back and waved her hands repeatedly. Ah, yes, of course. Sun Liang slapped his thigh and cursed, your school can't even form a team. By the way, Lin Yujing, how do you study? How do you achieve so much in this environment? Lin Yujing let out a breath and shrugged helplessly. It's really frustrating, this must be what it means to be a genius. Sun Liang scratched his head anxiously, hurriedly pulling out a small stack of papers from his bag, here, take these and do them at home. Come back here next Friday, and I'll explain them to you properly. Lin Yujing shrunk behind Yu Hong in fear. Because she was in a lot of pain. She had struggled a lot with those difficult problems just now. She had to rack her brains to solve them. It took a lot of effort to achieve that. But Yu Hong forcibly stuffed the papers into her hands. Don't forget, come again next week. Only then did Sun Liang pick up his bag and hurry off to the classroom. After he left, Yu Hong knocked Lin Yujing on the head. That's Sun Liang, leader of the chemistry Olympiad team at Rendezvous, and you dare back away. Yu Hong complained, he's got a good teaching spirit, he may look like that, but you should try to overcome it. Lin Yujing pouted helplessly, holding on to the papers. All right, go to class, you're already late. Yu Hong gave Li Zheng a push too, follow teacher Sun and for my classes in the future, you can study on your own if you want. This morning, teacher Xiao Tang talked to me, asking me to slow down the pace and let everyone do more papers. The young teacher has a hard job, so I'll give it a try. Li Zheng bowed and thanked him. The two walked shoulder to shoulder, holding their pencil bags and papers, leaving the chemistry office and heading to the stairs. Clearly, class had already started and they were late. Yet they didn't walk quickly. Lin Yujing started to get excited. She unconsciously raised her hand and waved her paper around. 95 compared to 59, almost the reverse. Now, do you see the gap? Li Zheng, however, remained silent and walked straight down the stairs. Lin Yujing waved her paper again. Li Zheng still didn't say anything. Even though Lin Yujing was right in front of him. He didn't actually see her. His thoughts were completely drowned in the brilliance of genius. This time, he truly felt it. What it really meant to be a genius. I, Li Zheng, spent 7 hours of grueling effort to get 59. You, Lin Yujing, spent less than half an hour in pain and unwillingness to achieve 95. Genius. It's truly despairing. Your mind flashes with ingenious ideas effortlessly. While I have to try everything, calculate every single bit, to barely make any progress. Teacher Hu. You were right again. Lin Yujing waved her hand vigorously in front of Li Zheng's face. I get it, you won, okay, Li Zheng said, shaking his head with a laugh. He wiped the cold sweat off his forehead, I understand, no matter what I do, I can't surpass you. Tisk. Lin Yujing turned her head in disdain. Despising me doesn't help, from now on I'm just going to follow my own pace. If I keep competing with you, I might really get depressed. Bang! Lin Yujing suddenly knocked on the stair railing. Then, she knocked twice more. Bang bang! After that, she nodded firmly at Li Zheng, Then, she made a finger gun gesture and aimed it at her head. Pong! She stuck out her tongue and rolled her eyes, pretending to be hit. Is it still that question about the bell ringing? Li Zheng smiled and shook his head. I just have an average talent and only know to use orthodox methods, it was just pure luck. Lin Yujing suddenly blocked Li Zheng's path, shaking her head vigorously. Wasn't it luck? Li Zheng scratched his head. In your eyes, my kind of methodical thinking must be really looked down upon, right? After shaking her head enough, Lin Yujing patted her chest and then pointed at Li Zheng, looking like a big person giving recognition. You would admire someone like me? Li Zheng exclaimed. Lin Yujing waved her paper again, pointed at him, and at herself. We have to come again. Lin Yujing nodded her head non-stop. You're really going to make me cry. Li Zheng cursed. You're just a sadist, right? Finally found someone you can bully, and you won't rest until they're dead. Lin Yujing raised her brow with a sparkle of anticipation in her eyes. You. Li Zheng shivered with goosebumps. Think this through. I caught up this much in just one night. Lin Yujing started dancing around, humming a little tune, and then she slipped. Boom, boom, boom. She ended up rolling down the stairs. Li Zheng burst into laughter, ha ha ha. Lin Yujing rubbed her head as she got up. Does it hurt? Li Zheng laughed even harder. Lin Yujing clenched her fists, ready to hit him. All right, stop messing around. Li Zheng saw she was hurt pretty badly, so he finally felt a bit challenged. I've recovered now, thinking it over, there's still plenty of time, and with my current understanding of chemistry, I might surpass you after the midterm exam. Be ready to pack your things and switch seats. Lin Yujing squinted her eyes challengingly. The two chatted as they made their way down to the second floor. At the corner, they ran into Sun Xiaobin. Ah! You too! Ah! Sun Xiaobin's eyebrows nearly shot up. What are you doing, during class time? How inappropriate, how inappropriate! Lin Yujing quickly lowered her head and dashed to the classroom with her papers. Li Zheng faced Sun Xiaobin defiantly as usual, we were just studying together. Pui! Sun Xiaobin almost fainted from anger, I'm only letting it pass because you two are good students. Hurry back to class. Vitality. Not good, I'm going to be drained. Li Zheng had no choice but to scurry away too. Sun Xiaobin sighed helplessly and turned to the girl following him, you have such good conditions, don't learn about early dating from them. I'm super well behaved, director. Grade 2, Class 4 was having a Chinese lesson. Zhang Qinghua had spent the entire lunch break helping Zhang Yu sort through a lot of knowledge. Throughout the whole process, Zhang Yu took every chance to lean on Zhang Qinghua, grab him, or something. In short, he was quite battered. But thinking about getting the upper hand over Li Zheng and Lin Yujing, Zhang Qinghua bore it, growing more determined. This Chinese class was about the midterm exam, and Zhang Qinghua enthusiastically went on stage to help Tang's Haifei distribute copies of outstanding essays. As he was distributing, the door opened. Lin Yujing entered, blushing and keeping her head down. Tang's Haifei smiled but didn't say anything. Zhang Qinghua, on the other hand, felt uneasy. Then, Li Zheng sneaked in as well. Zhang Qinghua was about to burst. Are you kidding me? Not giving me a break? Tang's Haifei's expression also became serious. Hu Chunmei had just called and advised her that these two had their limits. When they are together, they create a healthy competition, pushing each other forward. We can afford to be a bit more lenient with them. Sister Chunmei, are you serious? This is called having limits? Rip, rip. Tang's Haifei could hear the sound of paper being crumpled. Qinghua. Qinghua. She hurriedly tugged at Zhang Qinghua, distribute these to each group. Oh, oh. Zhang Qinghua realized his loss of composure and quickly handed the copies to each group. Tang's Haifei's mind was a tangled mess. It seemed things were more complicated than she had imagined. After class, she'd better consult Sister Chunmei again. Chapter 37. For the average score, for good seats, for territory, for the snow. Tangs Haifei, Li Zheng, Lin Yujing, and Zhang Qinghua all quickly adjusted their states. While passing around model essays, Tangs Haifei's mouth didn't stop. The topic of this essay is a variant of last year's Shanghai College entrance exam question. Prediction. Prediction is a prejudgment about the future based on existing knowledge. Some people are happy to accept predictions, while others are not. Please write an article to discuss your thoughts. Make up your own title, no less than 800 words. First, let's praise Lu Xin for not writing a poem this time. The teacher thanks you. In the familiar laughter, Lu Xin scratched his head familiarly. There's no helping it. Flowing teachers, ironclad Lu Xin, it always had to be him. But teacher Xiao Tang was different. His teasing made everyone happy. Come on, let's first examine the topic. The keyword is clear right up front: prediction. As long as the essay revolves around this, it won't be off topic. Therefore, this essay is very easy and has a lot of room for creativity. Our class's performance has improved a lot, and once they start brainstorming, everyone is very talented. Here, we need to especially praise Lu Xin. This is genuine praise. Tangs Haifei nodded and smiled at Lu Xin. Lu Xin wrote a narrative essay this time, titled Lottery Predictor, telling the story of his uncle predicting the lottery. The language is vivid, humorous, with a bit of satire, and ends on a positive note. While grading the essay, it felt like watching a comedy movie. I laughed several times. If it weren't for the numerous typos and poor handwriting, this essay would have definitely scored over 50 points. Ah! Lu Xin was completely stunned. Teacher Tang, you are really praising me. Really, really. Your talent is pure, but it's overshadowed by your chicken scratch handwriting. Tangs Haifei nodded repeatedly. However, narrative essays are risky. This time you happened to experience something relevant and could write it vividly. In actual exams, you may not have such good luck. In the future, you should practice argumentative essays more. Practice. Practice. Lu Xin hugged Li Zheng's shoulder, almost crying. Brother Li. I think I'm in love. Get lost. Additionally, Li Zheng, Tangs Haifei turned to look at Li Zheng. Your argumentative essay was also excellent. However, this direction was very risky. When I saw your title, I started to panic. Nations Game: The Arrow of Prediction Beyond the Light Cone. Wow! The students also started to panic. What the heck is this? Tangs Haifei also wiped his sweat. Really, the teacher panicked when seeing that. Every word made me anxious. You even incorporated some physics concepts, which were barely understandable. Your main idea was that the nation's game is unpredictable. Individuals should not be limited by blind predictions but should strive hard to achieve ideal results. The argument itself was fine. The problem was your supporting evidence. As a high school essay, writing about such topics is very risky. The grading teacher will feel like they're being lectured. My suggestion is to narrow down your view, avoid discussing national fortune level topics. Focus on personal struggles, even workplace struggles. I'm sorry, but I can only give you 30 points this time. Li Zheng nodded in acceptance. This time, he indeed couldn't resist. The topic was too tempting, he wanted to fully explore it. 30 points was a good outcome. Next time he felt the urge to go wild, he would remember this tragic score. Tangs Haifei didn't dwell longer and turned to Lin Yujing. Finally, here's the recently distributed model essay, Lin Yujing's expository essay. Usually, we don't use expository essays as models. But this time, she really excelled. All the grading teachers gave it full marks. The whole class turned to look at Lin Yujing again. In awe. The redness in Lin Yujing's face had barely faded, only to burn up again. She hurriedly buried her face, squeezing her legs together. Being selected as a model essay seemed especially embarrassing. Li Zheng couldn't help but be interested, picking up the freshly passed around copy to read. The title was Her Voyage, discussing a probe named Voyager 1 and how it left the solar system. Not to mention anything else, just the clean and crisp penmanship itself was worth 50 points. So saying handwriting reflects personality was indeed nonsense. Looking at this elegant and lively handwriting, who would have thought the writer was such a stingy and selfish person? Moving on to the text. Last century, scientists predicted based on orbits and found that 1977 was an excellent astronomical opportunity. At that time, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune were all on the same side of the Sunday. If a satellite were launched then, it could use the gravitational slingshot effect, leveraging the gravity of these 4 planets one by one to gain extraordinary thrust. Thus, for the first time, a man-made satellite would be sent out of the solar system. Under the scientists' precise calculations, Voyager 1, carrying a golden record, was launched. In the following years, it danced a ballet-like dance with these 4 planets before parting ways. Finally, it would carry humanity's greetings, heading towards the infinite, unpredictable cosmos. Humans control predictions but are infatuated with the unknown. The expository essay ascended to a higher realm. Originally a hard science essay, it turned into a romantic dance under her pen, a dance of precise prediction in science to the millisecond. Even Li Zheng had to admit, it was more readable than many articles in Sci-Fi World. Damn it! Reading Sci-Fi World regularly really could improve essay scores. She had beaten him, how frustrating. Li Zheng looked up unwillingly, only to find Lin Yujing peeking at him through the gap of her arm. Was she waiting for feedback from a fellow sci-fi fan? Li Zheng glanced at the paper again. The expository essay had the flavor of a prose essay. This literary grace, really unbeatable. Li Zheng nodded, I'll help you submit it to Sci-Fi World. Scratching the desk. No. Li Zheng had to put the paper away, then I'll copy it 20 times, your literary grace will be mine. At this moment, the classroom door suddenly opened a crack. Without any warning, a captivating head poked in. It was Sun Xiaobin again. The new student's paperwork is done, is now a good time? She asked Tang's Haifei. Sure, come on in. With a gesture, a girl wearing a dress and little leather shoes bounded in. With medium-length hair that looked carefree. Wearing a mischievous smile, and appearing cute. She bowed to greet Tang's Haifei, then turned to the class, raising her right hand, winking like she was posing for a selfie. Hi, everyone, I'm Zhang Xiaok. I'm average at studies, like anime, and am happy to join class 4 of the 2nd year. With that, she silly stuck out her tongue and threw a mischievous smile at the class. Chapter 38. Lin Yujing's essay was instantly thrown to the side. Li Zheng had to be an exception. This girl's hairstyle appeared messy and casual, but in reality, every strand of hair was carefully styled. She spent at least an hour fixing it before leaving home. That mischievous smile appeared playful and cute, but in actuality, it was merely an exaggerated facade. She wasn't as innocent as she seemed. Not easy to handle, this teammate. So cute. Lu Xin blinked his heavy eyelids and grabbed Li Zheng. Brother Li, our class finally has a beauty. Lin Yujing suddenly turned her head. That's not what I meant, Captain, you're a fairy. Lu Xin hastily explained. Lin Yujing wasn't buying it, and a murderous aura flashed in her eyes. She raised her hand and cut down. Not to be messed with. Lu Xin swallowed and grabbed Li Zheng. Brother Li, translate for me. No distractions before the midterm exams. Yes, yes, yes. Only then did Lin Yujing turn back around. In front of the podium, Zhang Xiaok was secretly observing the students of class 4. She couldn't help but break into a mischievous grin. Hee hee. Sure enough, it was an ordinary school, an ordinary class. Unconsciously, the corners of her mouth lifted slightly. My true background is only known by the dean. It's enough to scare people to death if revealed. You see, I am actually a bona fide high school student from Ren University affiliated high school. Ren Defu, the dominant high school that has monopolized the top 3 positions in this city for nearly 70 years. This year's college entrance exam, the average science score was 644. Out of the city's top 10 science students, we took 6 places, securing both the top and second ranks. A total of 157 students were admitted to Jinghua and Ji University. That is truly an extraordinary school. So extraordinary. There wasn't a single normal person. A normal person simply couldn't survive there. Every time someone took an exam, they ended up last. More than 100 points below average. Every time she thought of this, Zhang Xiaok's eyes would turn red. Despite everything, she was a top performer in the elementary IQ tests. An IQ of 118 isn't embarrassing, right? But why, at Ren University affiliated high school, did she have no dignity at all? Truly no dignity. She wasn't being bullied or marginalized. Nor was she looked down upon. Rather, she was viewed as another species. Yes, at Ren University-affiliated high school. She wasn't even considered human. She was just an animal that happened to sit in the classroom. Occasionally, someone would glance at her and throw her some food. But they would never say anything more. And certainly not discuss studies. Who would talk to an animal about calculus and probability? At Ren University-affiliated high school, she was basically a doggy with a human body. And she often got her head patted. Keep it up, Zyok. Keep working hard, Zyok. Be strong, Zyok. Enough. These patronizing words were enough. I want to be a person. After much effort, Jang Zyok finally convinced her family, transferred to a middle school near her home. Lake Ying Middle School, situated beside Lake Ying Park, boasted a beautiful environment. But perhaps precisely because of its advantageous location, its academic performance remained in the mid-range of the city. This year's college entrance exam average score barely exceeded 500, not even reaching the first-tier university admission line. Although she always ranked last at Ren University-affiliated high school. In this ordinary school, getting into the top 30 should be no problem. Woo! At this thought, Jang Zyok felt much more at ease. Finally, she could enjoy the feeling of being admired by her ordinary classmates. But she didn't reveal her talents. On the first day of the entrance test, she deliberately answered sloppily. After all, a starved camel is still bigger than a horse. No matter how poor her grades were, Zyok was still not ordinary. If she answered the questions with all her might, she might accidentally end up in an advanced class. Transferring schools would then be pointless. She had to answer terribly, join a very ordinary class. Then, pretend to be mischievous and playful. Never studying. As a result, when exams came. Wow! First place! The whole class would be shocked. Zyok, you're so smart. Aren't you a genius? Teach me, won't you? Ah, it would feel so good. Jang Zyok started daydreaming. Jang Zyok. Tang's Haifei looked at her dazed expression, a bit worried. Present. Jang Zyok responded with a little hop, full of energy. If you don't mind, please sit in that empty seat over there. Tang's Haifei pointed to the corner by the wall. Zhang Qinghua, the class monitor, is in front of you. You can ask him if you have any questions. Okay. Zhang Zyok adjusted her backpack straps and happily bounced over. The back row of the classroom had always been the domain of the class kings. Great. Not a bad starting point. Seeing how Teacher Tang had assigned seats, Zhang Qinghua quickly stood up. Wait a moment, I'll wipe it for you. Zhang Qinghua took a tissue from his uniform pocket and deftly wiped the seat clean for Zhang Zyok. With her hands behind her back, Zhang Zyok smiled and leaned forward slightly. Thank you, class monitor. A scent wafted over, and Zhang Qinghua couldn't help but steal a glance down. Those little leather shoes, those black socks. Zhang Qinghua's neck instantly turned red. But he still tried to smile steadily. We're all classmates, just call me Qinghua. All right, thank you, brother Qinghua. Oh, just Qinghua is fine. Zhang Qinghua's throat was dry. Zhang Zyok quietly enjoyed the class monitor's flustered state. She smiled without saying a word. Hee hee. The class monitor was quite handsome. But not my type. His personality was still too ordinary. Boys like him are too simple. Over time, they would become dull. Just as Zhang Qinghua had finished cleaning and was about to invite Zhang Zyok to sit. Whoosh! A boy raised his hand. Li Zheng, go ahead. Tang's Haifei nodded. Li Zheng stood up. I request that Zhang Zyok sit next to me. Ah! Not only Tang's Haifei, the entire class went ah. Especially Lu Xin. Brother Li, why did you do this? Lu Xin clutched his chest in shock and despair. This, what about me? Zhang Zyok was even more stunned. She turned to look at this boy named Li Zheng. He looked ordinary. But why was his aura so intimidating? She felt a sense of danger from him. Also, was this the first meeting, with him publicly making such a request? Was this a confession? Well, given her condition, at such an ordinary school, it was inevitable to have 10, 8, or dozens of boys confess. But this was too fast. Before she could think further, Li Zheng said, for the upcoming midterm exam, I hope to fight alongside my teammate. Sitting together would be more convenient. Everyone then understood. Anyone else saying this would be suspected of having ulterior motives. But Li Zheng making such a request was entirely reasonable. Zhang Xiok also remembered that Tang's Haifei had mentioned earlier about teaming up for the midterms. Is this person her teammate? Although he seemed ordinary, he felt like he was full of schemes. Brother Li! Brother Li! Lu Xin reluctantly tugged at Li Zheng's sleeve. But I was first. Humph! Li Zheng looked down at Lu Xin in disdain. Traitor! Rebel! You belong to Lin Yujing now. You think I'll let you peek at my notes? Lu Xin finally realized. Yes, he was teamed up with Lin Yujing. But was their friendship this fragile? At the front of the classroom, Tang's Haifei asked, Lu Xin, do you agree? Lu Xin looked at his friend's indifferent expression and smiled bitterly. Hat. He shook his head and reluctantly began to pack up. I get it, Brother Li, our brotherhood was just so. We'll switch back after the midterms. Li Zheng helped him pack his bag. I do prefer sitting with you. Ah! I knew it, Brother Li wouldn't abandon me like this. Lu Xin wiped his eyes. All right, we'll be apart for a month. Yes, just a month. Tang's Haifei awkwardly said, in that case, Xiok, are you alright with sitting next to Li Zheng? Ah, me. Zhang Xiok was a bit flustered. Her meticulously styled hair felt out of place. While she hesitated, Li Zheng gave her a deep look and spoke gravely. Come, let's study together. Oh my! She panicked even more. It felt like the Grim Reaper was calling her. Author's Little Theatre. Sigh. Everyone always complains about my infrequent updates. And always go woo, woo, woo. So, is there a book with daily updates of 10,000 words, a fast pace, and thrilling excitement? Yes. Of course, there is. Blue and White's new book I Survived 999 Heavenly Tribulations. After Dungeon Player, another masterpiece. It's so good you can't stop reading. No more talking, I'm off to survive tribulations. Please, let me go survive tribulations soon. Chapter 39. Really? Zhang Xiok instinctively felt a bit resistant. Ah, you handsome class monitor. Such a cute girl sitting behind you. Are you really not going to fight for it? Zhang Xiok had no idea that Zhang Qinghua had his own plans. Being in school, opportunity comes to those who are close. Just by looking, you could tell that Zhang Xiok wasn't an easy person to deal with. Before securing victory during the midterms, it wouldn't hurt to place her between Li Zheng and Lin Yujing. Who knows how much chaos this could cause? Tactics. It's all about tactics. Between the half-hearted resistance, Zhang Xiok cluelessly took her seat. Zhang Qinghua turned to comfort his new back row neighbor, Lu Xian. Meanwhile, Lin Yujing slightly turned her head and flexed her fingers at Li Zheng before clenching them tight. The battle of the midterms had begun. In this tense atmosphere, the Chinese class continued. All right, everyone take your time with the model essay later. Next, we'll go over the monthly exam papers. Li Zheng, Lin Yujing, Zhang Qinghua, you can do self-study. Rattle. The students all pulled out their papers one by one. Even though many of the boys continued to sneak glances at Zhang Xiok. Overall, they became more focused. After all, the midterm rewards were too tempting. Zhang Xiok also opened her bag. Still uncertain, she stole a glance at Li Zheng. He looked like an earnest, ordinary person. If he was allowed to self-study, his grades should be decent, right? Humph, just decent in an average school, that's all. In your eyes, you probably think I'm a poor student. Hee. Boy, you think too much. Zhang Xiok unconsciously blinked. Even though I'm at the bottom in Rendezvous, my grades are still better than yours. But I'm not telling you that. I'll just pretend to be a slacker. And then, during the exams, I'll scare you to death. Just thinking about it made Zhang Xiok happier and she hummed a little tune as she pulled out her paper. A disgusted sound came from beside her. It turned out that Li Zheng was peeking at her exam scores. Seeing the score, Li Zheng wore an expression of disgust and frustration. Out of a full score of 150, she had only scored 79. Just slightly better than Lu Xin. Zhang Ziok was furious. I didn't even try, okay? With a little effort, I could easily get over 100 points on this silly test. Humph. Just an earnest, ordinary person. Daring to look down on others like that. Hey! Yet Li Zheng sighed again, his eyes filled with sympathy. Keep it up, don't give up, be strong. Zhang Ziok felt a sense of déjà vu. Yes, it was this expression. The look you give a doggy. Didn't I transfer schools? Arg. Zhang Ziok forced a smile amidst her frustration. Actually, I'm just okay at studying. Since we're teammates, please tutor me more in the future. Got it, Li Zheng responded. Zhang Ziok clenched her teeth and fists. Anger. What do you mean by got it? I was just being polite, why are you so smug? Seriously, I didn't want to be so high profile at first. You forced my hand, you clueless ordinary boy. Quick, let's have the exams. I'll scare you to death. By then, let's see if you'll be hiding in the corner of the classroom out of shame. Fuming, Zhang Ziok reached for her manga in her bag. She unconsciously licked her lips. Hee. Now, I shall begin pretending not to study. You think my grades are bad? First period and I'm already reading manga, how impressive, hey. The more you disdain me, the better. When the grades come out, you'll be scared to death. Just as she was pulling out her manga, Li Zheng also moved. He quietly reached under his desk and pulled out a whole year's worth of Sci-Fi World. Zhang Ziok almost choked. She covered her mouth tightly to prevent bursting out. This guy does not play by the rules. Wait a minute. Are you also pretending not to study? Then going home to cram, and finally scoring high? Crap, even this gets snatched. Who still reads novels nowadays? Zhang Ziok drew out a manga, the cover featuring a big-eyed girl biting a bamboo stick. Want to read manga? It's the latest issue. Li Zheng frowned. He looked at Zhang Ziok, clearly displeased. With your grades, you're still not studying? Your test score was the second to last. Pretty soon, Lu Xin will be stepping on your head. And even if Lu Xin can't study, he can always get a job laboring, like operating an excavator or something. What about you? Is your family rich with mines? Li Zheng couldn't help but feel disappointed and angry at her lack of ambition. But he ultimately didn't say anything. Though it was a team battle, he didn't have the authority to force his teammates to study. Li Zheng eventually suppressed his frustration and looked at the colorful cover of the manga, asking, "What's this? I've never read it." Demon Slayer, Zhang Ziok mischievously pointed to the girl biting the bamboo on the cover and said, "Nezuko is super cute. Why is she biting a bamboo stick?" That's the cute point, if you want to know, you have to start from the beginning. Zhang Ziok quickly pulled out the first volume and stuck out her tongue with a silly smile, "Hehe, I brought the whole set." Li Zheng was stunned for a moment. This person has quite a collection as well. I'll give it a try, Li Zheng nodded and accepted it. I've been reading too much sci-fi lately, getting a bit tired of it, and my recovery rate is slowing down. Perfect time to switch things up. Internally, Zhang Ziok snickered. You like to fake it, huh? I'll let you read, I'll let you read. Read till you get hooked. Watch your grades drop. By then, you'll be baffled. Wow, everyone was following Nezuko together. How come Ziok's grades are so good? Could she be a genius? This is going to be great. Zhang Ziok suddenly felt that being assigned to this desk partner was quite interesting. It's only fun when you're stepping on someone like this. Going through all the trouble to transfer to this school. Wasn't it all for this? She gleefully spread the manga on her lap, lowering her head to read happily. But just half a minute in, there was an incident. Zhang Ziok. Tang's Haifei reminded, for the first class, don't give up on the teacher just yet, you might get something out of it. The classmates chuckled. I am listening. Zhang Ziok blushed and stuffed the book back into her bag. Yeah, be patient, give the teacher a chance, Tang's Haifei chuckled and grabbed his hand before continuing the lesson. Zhang Ziok was fuming. In such an ordinary school, shouldn't the teachers be more hands-off? She cast a sidelong glance at Li Zheng. Oh wow, this guy was totally engrossed, flipping the pages enthusiastically. The beginning isn't even that interesting. Go on, Keep reading till you drop. The bell rang for the end of class, and many of the female students gathered around Zhang Xiaok, trying to get close to her. How did you do your hair like that? It's so cute. Zhang Xiaok blinked. I just grabbed it randomly before heading out. Xiaok, which school did you go to before? Zhang Xiaok stuck out her tongue. Not worth mentioning, not worth mentioning. You've got so many figures hanging on your bag. Zhang Xiaok beamed. I love anime, I can't help it. This scent, did you secretly spray perfume? Zhang Xiaok smirked. SHHH. Chapter 40. It's really an ordinary class. She instantly became dazzling. But the only unusual person in this class did not join in. She was lying on the desk sleeping. She had just slept through the entire class. I really don't know what remarkable thing she did at noon. By the way, who is that? Zhang Xiaok pointed towards Lin Yujing. She seems very tired. Oh, you're talking about Lin Yujing, a girl replied. Don't bother with her, we can just watch from afar. Why? The girls couldn't help but lean in closer, chatting softly. She, in every aspect, is at a superhuman level. Seriously, she could easily go to rendezvous, but she insists on causing trouble here. That guy, Zhang Qinghua, seems to like her. Zhang Xiaok couldn't help but glance over. At the same time, feeling a sense of hostility. It appears this Lin Yujing is the only rival in this class. She even managed to toy with the dashing class president already. And she could easily go to rendezvous. Humph. Get real, kid. Is rendezvous a place for you? You can only boast in this ordinary school. Watch me burn the midnight oil, and crush you in the midterm exams. Thinking of this, she turned her head to stare at Li Zheng. Of course. And you? After the last class ended, Teacher Xiao Tang appeared on time and carefully arranged the weekend for everyone. This weekend, I will be conducting many home visits, already in discussion with your parents. I might launch a surprise visit, so don't leave me outside. And for the upcoming basketball game next week, I won't assign language homework, and the weekly journal is optional. Practice hard on your basketball, we must win, Tang's Haifei said, glancing at Lu Xian and energetically pumping a fist. This part depends on you, Lu Xian. Ah! Lu Xian sprang up like a bull. If we lose, I'll die. Don't. It's not that serious. Tang's Haifei hadn't expected such a drastic reaction and quickly told the other students, for those not participating in the game, you also have a task. Use the weekend to think of some cheer slogans, and the teacher will shout them with you. Lastly, have a great weekend. Tang's Haifei raised his arm dramatically. Class dismissed. Wow wow wow. The students erupted in excitement. No detention and no homework this weekend. Staying at home, they might even get special attention from teacher Xiao Tang. What an angel! Interestingly, after the announcement, no one rushed to leave. Instead, they discussed their studies. All around, groups huddled together, passionately planning their study schedules. At this moment, it was no longer just for the prize. The students genuinely wanted to keep teacher Xiao Tang. The midterm exam was undoubtedly an excellent opportunity for teacher Xiao Tang to earn the school's and parents' trust. In this atmosphere, the entire class started turning into study demons. As for Lu Xian, he was forcibly arranged. Lin Yujing had somehow already dealt with him. She had pasted a calendar filled with plans on Lu Xian's desk. His daily study tasks were clearly laid out. He could only play basketball after completing them. Otherwise, his report card would be sent to the parent group. Although Lu Xian didn't care, his dad was said to be very prideful. Publishing such grades in the parent group would cause his dad to explode on the spot. The consequences would be far more severe than a mere 1000m frog jump. Lu Xian was arranged so properly, he could only study on the spot. As the study atmosphere thickened, Li Zheng grew more uneasy. The entire afternoon, he had subtly reminded Zhang Xiaok many times. But Zhang Xiaok remained indifferent, so slack that it was unbearable to watch. Zhang Xiaok herself didn't care about grades. Humming a tune, she packed her school bag and asked, Li Zheng, are there any good basketball players in our school? Me, Li Zheng answered truthfully. He he. Zhang Xiaok gave a fake smile. This guy sure is dull. Even his jokes are annoying. In the breaks, she had already asked around. Li Zheng was just a mediocre, hard-working guy. Despite his desperate efforts, he only ranked around 50 or 60 in this ordinary school. Especially in chemistry, despite the simple test, he still failed. Although Zhang Xiaoke deliberately scored in the 30s, if she took it seriously, getting 70 or 80 would be no problem. And yet, he dares to act smug here? Not bothering with Li Zheng anymore, she turned to look out the window, eyes full of anticipation. Forget it, I'll check out the playground myself. I wonder how those basketball players would react to such a cute new student. Imagining them pretending not to notice her, yet desperately showing off by playing basketball awkwardly. Zhang Xiaoke smiled crookedly. Hey! A cold voice interrupted her. Li Zheng turned his head, saying, we'll lose like this. What? The midterm battle. It took Zhang Xiaoke a while to understand what he meant, and she waved her hand dismissively, it's just $500, why bother? You're in real danger already, can you take it seriously? Li Zheng gritted his teeth, looking at Lin Yujing holding her phone and threatening Lu Xin, ready to send his report card anytime. Since we're teammates, let me be blunt, your academic performance is abysmal, slightly better than Lu Xin's borderline moronic level, but you should know, even morons have their moment. The more Zhang Xiaoke listened, the angrier she got. Especially when she heard the word moron. She was so mad her teeth chattered. But since this was her first day, she didn't want to lash out. She could only stifle her anger, pretending to be silly and coquettishly scratching her head. Student Li, it's just a little prize money, why make such a big deal? What's important is the seat, Li Zheng said, lowering his voice. Our seat is extremely uncomfortable, all the stale air in the classroom accumulates here, it's not only far from the heater but also directly hit by the air conditioner. Then why did you insist I sit here? Since we're all in the same boat, don't get caught up in these details. Li Zheng sincerely extended his right hand, if possible, could you show me all your monthly test papers for each subject, so I can help you create a review plan? Looking at his serious expression. Finally, Zhang Xiaoke couldn't hold back. Student Li. I've had enough. Zhang Xiaoke glared at Li Zheng, showing a fierce expression, the whole afternoon, you've been bossing me around, and now you're even escalating this. Let me quietly tell you, Li Zheng. In terms of academics, I'm someone you can't mess with. She said it with great bravado. Li Zheng stared at her, dumbfounded. As if looking at a moron. Forget it. Li Zheng ultimately waved his hand, good luck, keep working hard, stay strong. 3 consecutive doggies. Here they come again. Zhang Xiaoke was so furious she scratched her head and yelled, I am not a doggy. The whole class turned to look. Zhang Qinghua chuckled, probably guessing what had happened. But as the class president, he still needed to maintain class harmony. Proudly standing up, he said, Hey! Li Zheng, what's going on, why are you bullying the new student right away? He's not capable of bullying me. Zhang Xiaoke angrily raised her arm, glaring at Li Zheng, studying all day long, I'll show you right now how capable I am. After being nagged by Li Zheng all afternoon, she couldn't stand it anymore. No choice but to reveal her strength early. Let's see who the real doggy is. Student Li, you love studying, don't you? Zhang Xiaoke smirked, looking up disdainfully, do you dare to solve a test paper with me right now? Li Zheng was dumbstruck at her words. The other students quickly rushed over to save him. Don't be dumb, Xiaoke. Stay away from him. You might win a shot put competition, but don't take a test with him. Chapter 41. Li Zheng slowly lifted his head and said, it's not a matter of dare or not. If we want to work on the exam paper, we can each work on our own. This kind of competition is meaningless to learning. Li Zheng certainly didn't mind doing the problems. He was considering Zhang Xiaoke. After all, her level was pretty poor. She needed more encouragement, not discouragement. Stop talking. Please, stop mentioning the word learning. Zhang Xiaoke covered her ears suddenly, glaring at Li Zheng with red eyes. It does matter. If my score is higher than yours, just stop lecturing me in the future, and never bring up learning again. Li Zheng then realized the root of her outburst. Indeed, his eagerness to win had annoyed her. Got it, it was my mistake. No need for a competition. I won't mention it in the future. Li Zheng raised his fist in a gesture of encouragement. Good luck to you. Arg, you're the doggy. Zhang Ziok slammed both hands on the desk. Whether we compete or not, if I win, you can never bother me again. If you win, you can arrange my studies any way you like, 24 hours a day, it doesn't matter. Upon hearing this, a demonic thought stirred in Li Zheng's mind. Oh? Are you that determined? Li Zheng excitedly stood up. Ziok, I'm rooting for you. The other classmates rushed over, pulling them apart frantically. Stop, stop, stop. Ziok, please, isn't living a better option? Run away while you still can. Li Zheng is almost failing PE, he can't catch you. Everyone, stop talking. I have confidence. Zhang Ziok swung her arm confidently, walking up to Li Zheng. I don't want to waste too much time. Let's just do one subject's paper and settle it in one round, how about that? Sure. Li Zheng couldn't help but rub his hands together. Though he didn't want to discourage Zhang Ziok. If he could completely control her, it would be a good thing for everyone. In her anger, Zhang Ziok didn't notice the demonic glint in Li Zheng's eyes. She raised her hand and said, I'm not bullying you. Chemistry is my worst subject, so let's do chemistry. No problem. Seeing how readily Li Zheng agreed, Zhang Ziok was elated. You naive fool. I've already sneaked a peek at your pencil case, you only scored 57 in chemistry. Sorry, chemistry is the only subject in which I haven't fallen too far behind. Kid, you're already dead. Well, King Hua, Zhang Ziok turned her head, you handle finding the papers. Make sure they are difficult so we can have a clear winner. Hey! Zhang Qinghua was still immersed in Zhang Ziok's series of suicide operations. Li Zheng also nodded, yes, Qinghua is fair. It's best to leave it to him. No. I mean, forget it. Zhang Qinghua raised his trembling hand, Ziok, calm down. Go home and rest this weekend. If we must compete, let's do it next Monday. Right now. Zhang Ziok wouldn't back down, flashing a mischievous wink. It's not like I'm afraid of a little difficulty. Zhang Qinghua's eyebrows twitched as he savored the meaning behind the wink. Interesting. Very interesting. Could it be that Zhang Ziok was hiding her true abilities? It made sense. No ordinary student would set themselves up for such humiliation. Besides, she immediately chose Li Zheng's weakest subject. She must have already gathered intelligence. From this perspective, this Ziok might not be simple. If she actually beat Li Zheng, she would undoubtedly become a challenging rival for him. And she would be the big obstacle between Li Zheng and Lin Yujing. Using another's hands to kill, no bloodshed. Silent snowstorm, impossible to guard against. There's something to this. Zhang Qinghua then responded, got it, I'll head to the chemistry department now and find an exceptionally difficult test paper. Zhang Ziok pondered for a moment, then said to Li Zheng, I'm not bullying you, let's use a freshman chemistry paper. Actually, she had missed some classes this semester. I'm fine with anything. If it's a paper, I'll do it. Li Zheng was eager. Zhang Qinghua then ran out of the classroom, heading for the chemistry department. In the classroom, the atmosphere was filled with lamentation. But Zhang Ziok didn't care. She put down her backpack, took off her jacket, pulled out her sticker-covered pencil case, adjusted her skirt, and sat down. She seemed very composed. But secretly, she was watching those pitying glances. Humph! Dog eyes don't recognize the mountain of Taishan. You all are doggies. Only I am human. Li Zheng suppressed his excitement, silently cracking his knuckles. Fortunately, he hadn't used his vitality value saved up for over an hour. Lin Yujing was filled with worry. She couldn't help but look at her teammate, Lu Xian. Lu Xian watched Zhang Ziok from afar, drooling and sighing, so tragic, how can it be this tragic? Lin Yujing immediately slammed a ruler on the desk. Lu Xian was startled and quickly picked up his book again. But he was a bit resentful. At least Zhang Ziok could compete with Li Zheng. Why did Lin Yujing arrange him right from the start? He trembled and raised his head, how about, we have a match, too? Forget it, forget it. I'll keep studying. Shortly after, Zhang Qinghua returned to the classroom, holding 2 freshly photocopied test papers. This is a final exam paper from our brother school, and it's said to be particularly difficult. I got it from the first class teacher. Zhang Qinghua, panting, rushed to the 2 desks, placing the papers down with a sympathetic look at Zhang Xiok. Xiok, this is your last chance. You can still run. Stop talking, this top student can't wait any longer. Zhang Xiok twirled her pen and shouted. Li Zheng, what about you? Zhang Qinghua turned, how about letting it go? Qinghua, you know me. Li Zheng stared at the test paper. A high difficulty paper from our brother school, questions I've never seen before, is already in front of me. How can I let this go? Yet. Zhang Qinghua then said, then I'll be the notary and reiterate the rules and rewards. This test paper is worth 100 points. The test time is 60 minutes. Early submission is allowed. If the scores are the same, the one who submits first wins. If Zhang Xiok wins, Li Zheng must stop bothering her in the future. At this, Zhang Xiok quickly raised her hand and said, just don't bring up anything about learning. Also, I can call Li Zheng doggy, and he must respond. Is doggy that important? Zhang Qinghua asked, puzzled. Important. All right. Zhang Qinghua turned and said, then Li Zheng, if you lose, you can't mention learning to Zhang Xiok, and if she calls you doggy, you must respond. Is that okay? She can call me Lu Xian for all I care. Lu Xian is already the most excessive and humiliating word we can think of, Zhang Qinghua said solemnly. So, if Li Zheng wins, he can fully arrange Zhang Xiok's study plan, and Zhang Xiok must follow it. Chapter 42. Zhang Qinghua quickly responded, hey, cameras are too much. But Zhang Xiok slammed the table, no problem. Let him. I don't mind if he locks me up. And I'll add a condition. If I win, I can video call him a dog whenever I want. Also, he has to run errands for me during lunch for free, be my lackey, and help me with my homework. Fine, very fair, Li Zheng nodded. Zhang Qinghua helplessly said, you guys note down the details yourselves. It's too cruel. I'll just be the judge of who wins or loses, not the enforcer. With that, he handed out the test papers to the two of them. Are you both ready? The two nodded. On your marks. 3, 2, 1. Start. In an instant, both picked up their pens, not caring whether they knew the answers or not. Just the momentum of writing their names and student numbers was not something to lose on. Zhang Qinghua also shouted at others to back away from their 3 desks, not to disturb them, and to prevent any cheating. It was silent, except for Lu Xian mumbling while memorizing. Clearly, it would take an hour to see the results, yet no one left. Even though everyone had been advising Zhang Xiok to keep going. But since she jumped into the fire pit herself, everyone was naturally curious to see just how miserably she would burn. The discussions were endless. Xiok, such a cute girl, she's probably going to end up ruined. I'm just more interested in the cameras. Can they be installed in the bedroom? 24-hour monitoring, Li Zheng study surveillance, amazing. So, do you think Li Zheng can manage all the monitoring on his own, or will he share the task with his buddies? Now that you mention it, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Zhang Qinghua quietly approached Lin Yujing. Yujing, these are the correct answers. He handed a stack of papers to Lin Yujing, you can grade them later. Lin Yujing quickly shook her head. With Li Zheng answering, who knows what tricks he'll pull. I'm not qualified, Zhang Qinghua said in a deep voice, besides, we actually have a shared interest. Lin Yujing squinted her eyes, realizing things were not simple. Grading had subjective elements. Being strict or lenient could add or subtract up to 5 points. These 5 points could very well decide the winner. Zhang Qinghua cleared his throat and whispered, as the judge, it's better for a third party like you to grade the papers. Lin Yujing hesitated for a moment but eventually shook her head, everyone trusts you. You do it. Zhang Qinghua was disappointed. The tactic of using someone else to kill indirectly failed completely. At that moment, a large head suddenly peeked in through the door, what's going on? It's Friday. Let's play ball. All the boys in the class shrank back. Zhang Qinghua hurriedly ran over and made a hush gesture, they're having a quiz battle. Don't disturb them. A quiz battle. Qiao Bixia's eyes lit up. She looked at Li Zheng, who was seriously working on the problems and smiled, do people really play like this? All right, let's not bother them. Su Mensi gently peeked in and quickly spotted Lin Yujing, Jing, you in? No, 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 Lin Yujing pointed at Lu Xian and waved a ruler. None of you are coming. Su Mensi hesitated at the door, unwilling to enter an unfamiliar classroom. Lin Yujing then ran over and pulled her inside. Zhang Qinghua also smiled, it's fine, everyone here are classmates. Sit down. Well, sorry to intrude. Lin Yujing dragged Su Mensi to sit in front of Lu Xian, even handed her the ruler, and gestured to wave it. What's this for? If he gets distracted, hit the desk. Lin Yujing whispered mysteriously into Su Mensi's ear, it's very fun. Just then, Lu Xian started to daydream, drooling as he spaced out. Lin Yujing grabbed Su Mensi's arm and slammed it on the desk. I dare not, I dare not. Lu Xian was so scared he quickly returned to memorizing. Phew. Lin Yujing felt a bit relieved, her own pressure seemed to ease somewhat. Su Mensi wiped her sweat, your class, really has a vibe. Before they knew it, over 10 minutes had passed. Li Zheng kept answering at a normal speed. On one hand, with so many people watching, it was hard to enter a quantum state. On the other hand, he could only cheat in terms of speed with Lin Yujing. It had to be said, this test paper indeed had some difficulty. It was comparable to Sun Liang's basic exams from noon. But this difficulty was a stupid one, complicated calculations, cumbersome steps, totally unlike Sun Liang's intricate difficulty. Even Li Zheng needed to spend quite a bit of time. He deliberately slowed down to ensure precision in the process. On the other hand, Zhang Xiaoke. She needed to pee. What kind of test paper was this, suddenly so difficult? 3 times harder than the monthly exam, okay? Where did this stupid class president get it? She wasn't even halfway through and there were already several questions she couldn't answer. Zhang Xiaoke was about to pass out. Involuntarily, she started to look at Li Zheng. Luckily that pretentious guy wasn't working very fast either. It made sense, if it's difficult for me, it's difficult for you, everyone suffers together. In terms of absolute ability, I'm definitely better than you. If I'm struggling, you'll only do worse. Thinking this, Zhang Xiaoke felt a bit more stable. Within 60 minutes, complete as much as possible. As long as the rhythm isn't disrupted, she'll crush Li Zheng. Yes. Zhang Xiaoke, cheer up, work hard, be strong. Pa, pa, pa. Hearing this too much, she almost took the dog's mantra as her motto. They didn't notice that at the front of the classroom, Xiao Bixia was already giving a live commentary. Xiao Bixia was indeed special. She had seen a lot of comedy and contests, analyzing it all expertly. In my opinion, this Li Zheng is probably going to trip up. Look at him, even his handwriting is getting messy. And this Zhang Xiaoke, brave like a newborn calf, not afraid of the tiger. No matter if you're a study tyrant or study demon, I'll fight you to the end. I'm telling you, never underestimate a transfer student. Transfer students are like mysterious players, no one knows their background, their answering style and methods are unique. Do you believe a flurry of punches can defeat the master? Half of the class gathered around her, thoroughly enjoying her commentary. No one would have thought that Sister Xia's talents were so broad, even able to commentate an exam as if it were a battle. So, you've all read 3 Kingdoms, right? In my view, this Zhang Xiaoke is like Zhao Zilong emerging from Mount Chang. Not making a sound for a long time, then stunning the world. And Li Zheng, he's been renowned for a while, a famous general. Let's compare him to Yan Liang. Beside her, Zhang Qinghua handed her a water bottle and said, Sister Xia, can you help grade the paper later? Xiao Bixia took the bottle and nodded her head to someone nearby, I'm not good at chemistry. Ask Sister Meng. Don't be deceived by her quiet demeanor, she used to be the class representative in chemistry, top 3 in the grade. Me? Su Mensi was startled, I'm not pretending. Then I'll trouble you. Zhang Qinghua handed her the answer key, 20 more minutes. Su Mensi reluctantly took the key, thinking it over, realizing she was the most suitable after all. Chapter 43. You see, now both of their progress isn't looking so smooth. At times like this, it's all about mindset. Logically, Li Zheng should be a bit more experienced. But you have to understand, Yan Liang's kind of experience is only useful in front of minor fish. When facing someone like Zhao Zilong, no matter how experienced you are, you'll get pierced through in one strike. Now, look at this newcomer Zhang Xiaok. Have you noticed? She has a kind of confidence that's hard to understand. Either she's not bright, or she's got the goods. Personally, I lean towards the latter. Under Xiao Bixia's commentary, everyone was swayed and started to think Zhang Xiaok had a good chance of winning. Zhang Qinghua also took the opportunity to spread out his little notebook and said in a hushed voice, Class 4's grand betting, second round. Same old rules, max bet, 10 turns of duty. The previous bet with the class teacher had cost Zhang Qinghua a lot, and now he had to recoup his losses. He already had a feeling that Zhang Xiaok was not simple. Now, after Xiao Bixia's explanation, it felt like a sure win. Give it a shot, turn a bike into a motorcycle. I bet Zhang Xiaok, 10 times. Zhang Qinghua took the initiative and wrote down a big bet for himself. Others followed closely, placing 5 and 10 bets. No one had expected Zhang Xiaok to become the top pick. Seeing this, Xiao Bixia quickly waved her arm and explained, it's got nothing to do with me. I'm just the commentator. I'm not responsible for anything that happens. However, no one paid any attention to her. Most people had already placed their bets when Lin Yujing finally leaned over and whispered, Li Zheng, 10. Oh. Zhang Qinghua frowned. You believe in him that much? Lin Yujing nodded and then slipped back. Zhang Qinghua gritted his teeth and wrote down her 10 bets. Get ready for disappointment, Lin Yujing. So you'll know what heartbreak feels like too. At the closing time, Li Zheng stood up right on time. Handing in. He said. Soon after, Zhang Qinghua's phone alarm went off. The 60 minutes were up. Wow, as expected of an ace, Li Zheng is really slick, Xiao Bixia said while slapping her leg. Even handing in a second early counts as early. Truly flawless planning. Zhang Xiaok also put down her pen and collapsed powerlessly in her seat. It was finally over. My brain hurts. Dazed. It seemed like there were a lot of doggies running around her. She struggled to get up, looking at Li Zheng with a teeth-gritting smirk. Luckily, it was all worth it. Get ready to be my doggy, ordinary boy. She rushed to Zhang Qinghua before Li Zheng and shoved the paper into his hands. I handed in first, she said, turning back to stick her tongue out at Li Zheng. Handing in means handing it to the examiner, you big dummy. Is that so? Li Zheng, arriving late, slowly put down his paper. This, yes, that's it, Zhang Qinghua, who was overseeing the process, nodded with a sly grin. So, if it's a tie, Xiaok wins. All right then, Li Zheng fully respected the judge's authority. Soon, the paper was handed over to Su Mensi. She compared it with the standard answers and began to carefully grade Zhang Xiaok's paper with a red pen. Xiao Bixia was still talking. Let me tell you something, our class's chemistry teacher only comes for half a day each week. Most of the assignments and tests are graded by the class rep, Mensi. I'm telling you, her grading skills are on par with any of your chemistry teachers. While speaking, Xiao Bixia's eyes were fixed on the paper. Unconsciously, her thick eyebrows furrowed. Oh no, this isn't looking good. Why are there so many wrong answers? Could I have misunderstood? Calm down first. Look closely, this question seems quite hard too. If I were to do it, I might only get 70 or 80 points. For a sophomore, doing this well isn't bad at all. 5 minutes later, Su Mensi finished grading and carefully marked down the score. 54. Sister Xia is right. This test paper was tough with a lot of calculations, Su Mensi said, handing the paper back to Zhang Xiaok. Don't be discouraged, keep it up, Xiaok. Zhang Xiaok snatched the paper, her face a bit red. So annoyed. If I had known, I wouldn't have picked such a hard test. The attempt to show off fell flat. This score didn't shock anyone. But honestly, 54 points were higher than she'd expected. Considering the difficulty. Zhang Xiaok immediately glared at Li Zheng. You probably won't even score 40. Swoosh. Li Zheng's paper was spread out on the table. Completely filled. Zhang Xiaok trembled at the sight of it. This guy's ability to make stuff up is quite something. Su Mensi started grading his paper. As she marked each correct answer, Zhang Xiaok's expression visibly crumbled. Hey, this has to be a mistake. Feels like I need to pee. Xiao Bixia's commentary grew weaker. Can you really do it that way? Didn't they say Li Zheng was bad at chemistry and barely passed? Who gave this information? It has nothing to do with me. With this accuracy, how am I supposed to comment on this? If you lose your bet, don't blame me. I'm done talking, so annoyed, gonna play basketball. Xiao Bixia grabbed a basketball and ran off. The betters, even if they wanted to chase her down, didn't have the guts. Not long after, Su Mensi also finished grading. 89 points. She said in surprise, handing the paper to Li Zheng. With a bit more effort, you could surpass me. Boom. Zhang Xiao's world collapsed. She stumbled back, all the way to the windowsill. No. No. How could it end like this? Isn't this an ordinary school, with ordinary boys? Didn't they say he wouldn't pass? I'm supposed to be better than him, right? Not bad, Xiao, you're stronger than I imagined. Li Zheng, holding his paper in his left hand and a pen in his right, walked toward her step by step. If it were yesterday, I might not have even scored 40, but after studying for dozens of hours, the effect is immediate. And no, don't come closer, don't. Zhang Xiao, with her rear against the cold windowsill, had nowhere to retreat. Keep working hard, you can do it too, Li Zheng nodded. If twice the effort isn't enough, then 4 times. If 4 times isn't enough, then 8 times. No matter how many times, as long as you spend all your available time studying, you can do it. Ah! Zhang Xiao curled up by the window, tears shimmering in her eyes. At this point, she wasn't just a doggy. She was also a gambling dog. A dog who had lost everything in a gamble. She turned her head tremblingly to look out the window. Maybe, jumping down would feel better. The other students couldn't help but feel some pity. Alas, didn't listen to advice. Her high school life might be over. 54 points isn't bad, it's just that Li Zheng's chemistry books in the past 2 days weren't for nothing. Is this some kind of demonization ceremony? Xiao might be Li Men's first disciple. Disciple? More like a study slave. Chapter 44. In the end, only 3 groups of people were left. In the front row were Zhang Qinghua and Zhang Yu. Zhang Shui, do you need a special tutoring session tonight? Zhang Yu said shyly. My house is just empty. Zhang Qinghua's future was also perilous. Sigh. Lost his body and had to take up duty. Zhang Xiao, you really are disappointing. Thinking you were a Zhao Yun, but actually, you're a Pan Feng. Xiao Bixia, if I trust you again, I won't be called Zhang. Behind them were Lu Xian and Lin Yujing. Sister, fairy, I'll kowtow to you. Let me go, please. You don't understand, sister. On the other side were Li Zheng and Zhang Xiao. Zhang Xiao had already forgotten how she returned to her seat. She was in a dazed state. Beside her, Li Zheng was flipping through her test paper, talking ceaselessly. All right, I've reviewed your monthly exam results. It feels like you didn't take it seriously. To assess accurately, you need to retake the test. You have to retake every subject. I'll find the papers. 8 hours should be enough. Do you have plans tonight? Let's aim to finish by 3 am. Zhang Xiao's head was about to explode after hearing this. Ah! She grabbed her head and collapsed on the desk. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. Li Zheng sighed. For students like her who didn't love studying, starting with high intensity wasn't humane. Then you should go home and rest today. I'll notify you once I've found the papers. Get enough sleep, tomorrow you'll need to answer questions for 8 consecutive hours. This weekend will be entirely for studying. This kind of study weekend must be your first. You'll gradually like it. Happy study weekend. Hearing this terrifying blessing, Zhang Xiao's face was already pale. Li Zheng. She wiped her face and turned mournfully. Brother Li Zheng, can we just forget this time, please? Sigh, just 1 month, after that, I won't even have time to tutor you. Li Zheng said, frustrated. It's all for the championship. Zhang Xiao anxiously fumbled out her phone. 1,000 yuan, I'll transfer you 1,000 yuan, okay? I told you, it's not about the money. Li Zheng got angry. And teacher Xiao Tang has it hard too. We should do well to support her. Then 1,500, how about 1,500? If it's not enough, I'll ask my dad for more. You really don't want to do this? Li Zheng thought for a moment. How about this, I'll set a standard. If you meet it, we can end the study sessions early. Is that possible? Zhang Xiao's eyes lit up, seemingly seeing a glimmer of hope. Yes, I'm a flexible person. Li Zheng raised his hand. As long as your score for a single subject reaches 90% of mine, you'll be considered to have met the standard, and can stop studying that subject. Be more specific. Take math for instance, if I score 120, you just need to get 108 to meet the standard. If you do this for every subject, we can end the tutoring early. How about that? Zhang Xiao's eyes started to dart around. There was still a way out. The recent chemistry test was clearly an accident. It was all because of that sister Xia, making a fuss and distracting her. Thinking it over, Li Zheng was just around the 50th rank in an ordinary school after all. It should be natural for her to surpass him, let alone achieving 90%. He must have crammed for chemistry in the last few days and just happened to hit the questions on that test to get high marks. With a new test, it's uncertain who'll come out on top. Plus, if she wins just once, she can end the studying for that subject. The chances were high. Then I'll trouble you, academic genius brother. Zhang Xiao stuck out her tongue while packing her bag. See you next Monday. No way, we start tomorrow. Li Zheng took out his phone and opened a shopping app. Do you know which surveillance camera brand is reliable? Just kidding, don't look at me like that. I'm actually very high in emotional intelligence. Li Zheng smiled while tapping his phone. I'm buying you new study materials. Ah. I can buy them myself. Hey. Li Zheng generously raised his hand. When studying with me, you don't have to buy your own materials. I'll take care of it. Zhang Xiao swallowed nervously. Although it sounded terrifying and domineering, it seemed like he wasn't a bad person. And he did mention his family was quite wealthy. Could it be a charming contrast? As she watched Li Zheng seriously looking for study materials, Zhang Xiao's heart suddenly started to race. This person, could he be a super rich, super domineering, but also super serious, and super diligent guy disguising himself as very ordinary? No, the demand is too high this time, I can't find what I need online. Li Zheng turned his head. Tomorrow morning, I'll head to the big bookstore. After lunch, let's find a place to do some questions. I'll notify you with the specifics. Then, it can only be that way. Zhang Xiao clutched her skirt, acting all coy and bashful. Just the two of us. Li Zheng lowered his head, his face slightly red. Yes, I happen to have some things to ask you. To him, this Zhang Xiao. She clearly seemed like someone who knew how to relax. He had to learn some tricks from her. And being around her, his vitality value recovery curve was quite astonishing. It felt great. Studying together didn't count as flirting. Li Zheng coughed, picked up his bag. If you really don't want to come, we can meet at school on Monday. Zhang Xiao was stunned. Ah! Suddenly gentle. It was definitely a charming contrast. Well, since I happen to be free. She clutched her collar, avoiding Li Zheng's gaze, and twisted her body shyly. But you have to promise me, don't tell anyone we're meeting alone. Okay. Li Zheng shouldered his bag and quickly left. Zhang Xiao quietly packed her bag on the spot, feeling very strange. Why, about this study thing? Suddenly, she felt a bit excited. At the back door of the classroom, a small head quietly popped up. Tang's Haifei had been observing for a long time. The moment she looked at Zhang Xiao, she was certain. This girl would definitely be a big problem. As the class teacher, of course, she'd seen the files and knew Zhang Xiao was a former Ren de Fu student. But Zhang Xiao's parents requested to keep this hidden, so there was nothing she could do. Tang's Haifei had also reviewed Zhang Xiao's monthly exam results. Clearly suspicious. But Tang's Haifei didn't expose it. Unlike Lu Xian or Zhang Yu, Zhang Xiao clearly had a lot of tricks up her sleeve and an independent mindset. Interfering directly would only result in a stronger backlash. To deal with such a monster, you needed a bigger monster. Exactly. Assigning her to Li Zheng was part of Tang's Haifei's plan. It seemed to be working very well now. Li Zheng, as expected. His presence was already influencing others' study attitudes. For this achievement, the teacher's first home visit would be dedicated to him. Chapter 45. The security guards were already clearing the field. Thump. He fell to the ground. Li Zheng had just finished relaxing and jogged over. Let's play again tomorrow. Just pick a place. Tomorrow, there is no tomorrow. Lu Xin clutched his head. That woman, she won't let me off even on weekends. TCH. Lin Yujing stopped by with her backpack, pulled out a stack of papers and shoved them into Lu Xin's bag. MMM. Li Zheng sighed and said, she said if you don't finish by the weekend, she'll post your grades in the parent group. Ah, does she have to be so precise, Brother Li? You guys, shouldn't take your blessings for granted. Zhang Qinghua held a basketball and walked by with a stern face. Tomorrow, I have to go to Zhang Yu's house, for special tutoring. While Lin Yujing couldn't help but open her mouth wide. When it came to dedication, Zhang Qinghua was unmatched. Li Zheng rode his bike home, and the sky had only the last hint of light left. As he entered the building unit, he suddenly sensed danger. When he left home early in the morning, the door had already been slammed, and a trap had been set. What if Ninger didn't go on her business trip? He quickly flipped open his phone. Because his WeChat was on Do Not Disturb mode during the day, he found that Ninger had sent over a dozen more threats. 8:38. Ning, I was just falling asleep when a delivery knocked on the door. What did you buy? 9:05. Ning, just fell asleep again, how many deliveries are you expecting? 10:22. Ning, my dear, do you know what a headache is? Ning, 3 deliveries in one morning. I can't take it anymore. I opened them all. Ning, why did you buy so many chemistry workbooks? 12:55. Ning, another delivery. Is it so hard to get some sleep at home? Ning, do you believe I'll burn all your workbooks, and scatter the ashes? 13:27. Ning, I'm leaving, is that enough? I'm staying at a hotel. Ning, next time I'm back, it'll be on a 2 AM flight. Just wait for it. Phew. Li Zheng let out a sigh of relief and stepped into the elevator. At least he was safe today. Exiting the elevator, he walked to his home, inserted the key, and unlocked the door. The lock wasn't engaged, his family usually turned it an extra 2 times. Did old Li come back so early today? Li Zheng was full of suspicion. He didn't make a sound and quietly opened the door. The first thing he looked at was the shoe cabinet. Old Li's everyday leather shoes were there. Next to them was a pair of shiny silver high heels. This flashy silver color was definitely not Ninger's choice. Li Zheng's heart tightened. At this moment, a burst of laughter came from the inner room. Haha, Li Zheng's room is as dull as I imagined. Oh no, it's simple. Li Zheng was stunned for a moment. It was Teacher Tang. A home visit? She contacted old Li directly without informing him? What kind of scheme was this? Ahem. Li Zheng coughed heavily while changing his shoes. The sound of frantic movement came from the inner room. It sounded like someone was closing the door, pretending no one had been in Li Zheng's room. Soon, Li Yi walked out of the hallway, feigning calmness. Hey, guess who's here? No need to guess. Li Zheng asked, why are you home so early today? Teacher Tang said she planned a home visit, so I handed everything over to Cheng Wenyu. Li Yi avoided Li Zheng's gaze, staring at the ceiling, saying, anyway, I was just looking at the paintings in the hallway. I didn't enter your room. How could one enter a teenage boy's room casually? Hee. Sorry. Tang's Haifei also came out, knocking on her head. The teacher saw you playing basketball and didn't want to disturb you, and it just so happened your father was available. It's okay. Teacher Tang, make yourself at home. Li Zheng finished changing shoes and headed to the kitchen. You two chat. I'll make some tea. Tang's Haifei saw Li Zheng seemed unhappy and quickly walked out. No need, we already finished talking. You should have dinner. Why leave now? It's dinner time. Let's eat. Li Yi took out his phone and asked, shall we order in or eat out? No, really, you don't have to. Are you in a rush to eat with your family? Li Yi asked. Not really. I live alone. Oh, then listen to me. It's Friday night. Let's eat together. At this point, Tang's Haifei had already reached the door. She subconsciously adjusted her stockings, picked up her high heels, and bent down to change her shoes while saying, "Really, I shouldn't eat. Wait for Li Zheng's mother to come home and have a nice weekend dinner as a family. It's okay. His mom is on a business trip. It's just us two dudes staring at each other. It's not fun." Li Yi held the door handle, turning to berate Li Zheng, "Silly boy, teacher Tang is waiting for you to invite her." Upon hearing this, Li Zheng suddenly became enthusiastic, "Let's eat together, teacher Tang. I can also ask you some questions." Undoubtedly, he had ulterior motives. Enjoying a meal was also a form of relaxation. But it was something hard for him to come by. As a doctor, old Li usually ate nutritious but tasteless food. Like boiled cabbage, boiled broccoli, chicken breast, and vegetable salad. Every meal felt like breakfast. Now that they had a guest, he could finally have a delightful meal. Li Yi also joined in, "Teacher Tang, you see, Li Zheng insists." Tang's Haifei saw the father and son were sincere. Besides, she had something to discuss. She looked at Li Yi, who was holding the door and wouldn't let go, and could only smile and nod, "Well, let's keep it simple and not add much trouble. I'll help cook." "No way we'll let you cook. I'll order some simple takeout, and we'll eat at home." They both sat back on the living room sofa. Li Yi ordered takeout while continuing to chat about Li Zheng. Li Zheng went to the kitchen to boil water for tea. But just as he turned on the water, he hid by the kitchen door, eavesdropping. "Teacher Xiao Tang, you can't judge a book by its cover. She must be up to something." Sure enough, the two in the living room were talking softly, not daring to raise their voices. "Li Yi, I was so nervous just now that I almost got caught by that kid." Tang's Haifei, I lost my balance too." "Li Yi, let me confirm again. Did Li Zheng and that girl really spend a whole noon together?" Tang's Haifei, "It's true. They were back 3 minutes late, and both looked odd. I don't like interfering with these things. First, it's pointless. Second, it triggers a rebellious attitude, making students less likely to listen in the future." "Li Yi, understood, I'll handle it. I'll discipline him well." Tang's Haifei, "No, please don't be too harsh. Just guide them appropriately. Honestly, many high school romances do end in marriage, and such marriages are often more stable." "Li Yi, haha, why talk about marriage? They haven't even stepped through the door yet." "Haha, haha. Tang's Haifei, why are you so happy, teacher Li?" "Li Yi, nothing, nothing. It's just that kids can be so frustrating. See how well I discipline him." Li Zheng's face flushed in the kitchen. "Teacher Xiao Tang. How could you malign me like this? Did you come just to complain?" He wanted to storm out and defend himself, but Tang's Haifei continued. "Tang's Haifei, I've scheduled a home visit for Lin Yujing as well. We'll guide both sets of parents to ensure positive development." "Li Yi, no, don't. It's a girl's family. Better not alert them. Let me handle this." "Don't worry, our Li Zheng is a decent guy. He wouldn't lay a finger on their daughter." Tang's Haifei, "I trust Li Zheng's character. But keeping this from her parents." "Li Yi, hey. I know my son. What could they do together? They must be studying, learning from each other, making progress together. This is good. It won't go any further." Tang's Haifei, "Well. Sister Chunmi thinks the same. She believes Lin Yujing lacks studying motivation. She should have been challenging for the Olympiad but got delayed. Now that she finally has some motivation, let's turn a blind eye." "Li Yi, teacher who is right? If you tell the girl's parents, it'll lead to a scolding, ruining the study atmosphere. How about this, I'll give Li Zheng more pocket money. He'll buy study materials, and they can work together. I'll even cover Lin Yujing's study materials. No need to tell her parents." At the mention of pocket money, Li Zheng paused. Indeed, with his vitality, the school's materials weren't enough. He needed to buy a lot more. Additionally, he had to distribute resources to Zhang Xiaoke. Extorting pocket money didn't seem so bad. In the end, he chose to endure the humiliation. The ensuing dinner was far from simple, it was remarkably sumptuous. Normally, if it was just the two of them, they'd spend no more than 50 yuan on dinner. This time, old Li ordered 500 yuan worth of Japanese food and even got a large bottle of sake. He seemed ready to bribe teacher Xiao Tang with sashimi. Teacher Xiao Tang tried to refuse, but eventually had to drink a glass. Then a second. A third. The 10th. Soon, they were calling each other brother and sister. Eventually, they almost broke into singing youthful dance music. If Li Zheng hadn't stopped them, they might have gone to karaoke. By nearly 9 o'clock, Tang's Haifei was swaying as she put on her shoes. Hey, sister, listen to your brother. Li Yi was flushed, not drinking enough, it's so late, don't go back. Thud. Li Zheng gave him a thump in the ribs. Next time. Tang's Haifei lifted her bag, holding the door, wiping the wine from her mouth. Sorry, I drank too much. Li Zheng, see teacher Tang off. Li Yi nudged Li Zheng, make sure she gets home. Tang's Haifei couldn't refuse, so she had to agree. The two of them walked down to the unit entrance, each taking their bike. But Tang's Haifei was swaying, and Li Zheng didn't dare let her ride. In the end, Li Zheng gave up his own bike and helped teacher Tang push her bike out of the yard, figuring he'd run back for his exercise. Under the moonlight, the cool breeze blew. But Tang's Haifei's drunkenness hadn't subsided. She wobbled as she walked, hugging the world. Ah! Li Zheng, it's so hard being a teacher. Stay balanced, teacher Tang. Before he finished, Tang's Haifei staggered and nearly fell. She leaned against the wall, took off her high heels, and walked barefoot with her shoes in hand. No, you'll hurt your feet. Li Zheng quickly propped up his bike and, with a heavy heart, took off his own sneakers and forced her to wear them. But as soon as he squatted down, he regretted it. Oh God! Her feet stank. He had smelled it earlier but thought it was old Li's and didn't mention it. But he had already committed. He couldn't back out now. Li Zheng held his breath, gripping Tang's Haifei's ankle, and fit her into the shoes. Aside from the smell, he didn't feel anything was wrong. But Tang's Haifei, being forced into the shoes, felt even dizzier. Don't, Li Zheng, it's unnecessary. Li Zheng held his breath and said, it's okay, my shoes shouldn't smell. What do you mean? I mean, I won't tell anyone. Stay strong. Li Zheng's face twisted as he almost blacked out. Tang's Haifei, in her daze, didn't catch the double meaning and thought he was showing pure concern. She leaned against the wall, giggling at Li Zheng's effort. You usually seem so silly and goofy, who would have thought you'd be so considerate, no wonder. She stopped mid-sentence, quickly covering her mouth. She couldn't let Li Zheng know she had complained about him. Li Zheng saw her cover her mouth, thinking she was nauseated by his smelly shoes. Hey, you do have it tough. Right, it's hard being a teacher. Tang's Haifei sighed, another parent complained. Li Zheng had just finished fitting her shoes and finally stood up, taking a deep breath. Tang's Haifei thought he was nervous. It's fine, don't overthink it, just a change of shoes. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be so hard. Li Zheng held his breath, placing Tang's Haifei's high heels in the bike basket, then moving the bike far away before pushing again. Hey, your shoes are quite comfortable. Tang's Haifei happily jumped up. You can keep them. What do you mean, I can't buy my own shoes? I have money. Tang's Haifei was indignant, pouting and standing with her hands on her hips in the street. Li Zheng shook his head. Alcohol is terrifying. It not only affects study but also makes people say strange things. The next day, when teacher Tang woke up, if she remembered anything, she'd want to die of embarrassment. Li Zheng quickly changed the topic. You said some parents complained. Yeah, about the midterm grouping. Those parents, they're so troublesome. Tang's Haifei sighed, walking shoulder to shoulder with Li Zheng. If they're not happy, they don't have to participate. We'll just evaluate the top 5 as usual. It's mainly the top students' parents who support it. There's no easy way to deal with that. Li Zheng said helplessly, just persuade them slowly, it's only once. Director Sun is helping me communicate, but she really wants me to drop the midterm grouping thing. Tang's Haifei suddenly became serious again. No, I have to make some changes. I didn't take this job to slack off. For the director, no mistakes are a success. For me, no achievements are a failure. I support you. I'll do my best to get other students to support you too. Li Zheng nodded firmly. The director only cares about appeasing parents and getting the recognition as a model school. But what's the point of a school if it doesn't produce results, even if it achieves universal recognition? Hang in there, teacher Xiao Tang. If more parents complain, I'll get Zhang Qinghua and Lu Xian to stall them. Haha, you're not going to help. Tang's Haifei laughed and playfully bumped Li Zheng's shoulder. I can't fight them. If necessary, I'll call in some seniors. I know a tough senior who does planks every noon. All right, no need for that. Thanks, Li Zheng. Tang's Haifei tapped Li Zheng's forehead. It's students like you who keep me going. Really, thank you, Li Zheng. Your dad is also great. Chapter 46. Hat. Li Zheng turned back and sneered, Hu Chunmei has been asking you out for over a year, and you never had time. How do you explain that? Isn't it because we have a new teacher now? Giving some face and supporting their work. Li Yi quickly thought of the key issue discussed with Tang's Haifei and immediately pulled out his phone. I see you've been buying a lot of study materials lately, do you have enough money? Upon hearing this, Li Zheng's grip loosened a bit. Not really enough. Then I'll support you with another 1,000. Li Yi nodded, you can buy whatever you need. Li Zheng felt quite comfortable hearing this, and he finally put down his phone. Honestly, old Li, I've been short of study materials recently, and I might need to ask you for money frequently. No problem, as long as it's for the right purposes, I'll give you as much as you need. Li Yi quickly completed the transfer. All right, I'm heading to the hospital. Your teacher who is having surgery the day after tomorrow. I'll invite the chief surgeon for the most critical moment. Wait. Li Zheng gulped, I also need a new pair of shoes, preferably basketball shoes. Just say so. Li Yi picked up his phone again and started operating it, then scratched his head, son, I'm out of cash. He hurried to the coat rack, took out his wallet from his pocket, and handed a credit card to Li Zheng, the password's still the same, use it as you need. Li Zheng looked at the credit card and felt a bit reluctant, forget it, I'll spend less, just buy a pair under $100. No, don't feel pressured. Li Yi forcefully put the credit card into Li Zheng's hand, our family finances are fine. It's just that my salary card, every time I check it, most of it has already been taken by your mom. How does she always know exactly when I get paid, with all her meetings and jet lag? Can't be helped. Women always have some mystical abilities. Li Zheng put away the credit card and said, then I'll save a bit, ask Ning for more money in the second half of the month. Don't save, spend what you need. Li Yi said as he put on his coat, my credit limit is 800,000, I've got you covered. 800,000. Li Zheng inevitably indulged in fantasies. Could buy enough books to fill the house, right? Goodness, he could even sleep on a bed made of test papers. That morning, Li Zheng rode his bike to the bookstore. Awkwardly, he was still wearing old Li's leather shoes, feeling strange while biking and walking, a scent unbecoming of his age. As for his old sneakers, they had come to the end of their life. Recalling last night's smell, Li Zheng couldn't help but shudder even now. Fortunately, the book fragrance in the store quickly dispersed the olfactory gloom. Without hesitation, he rushed to the textbook section on the third floor. This was an extraordinary place. If it were in a martial arts novel, it would be the ultimate sutra depository. An entire floor of textbooks, reference books, and workbooks. Li Zheng pushed a shopping cart and headed towards the tall bookshelves. Hunting for study materials was undoubtedly a supreme pleasure. With sufficient budget now, he had the courage to buy the super practice question collections he usually felt reluctant to purchase. Without realizing it, 2 hours had passed. Books are great in every way, except for one thing. They're too heavy. What limited Li Zheng's purchases was not money, but weight. In the end, he could only carefully select and buy a few $100s worth of study materials, a significant part of which he would share with Zhang Xiaoke. Thinking of Zhang Xiaoke, Li Zheng was still quite excited. This kid might be even smarter than himself. Yesterday, she almost passed that difficult test. She did better than Lu Xian and Zhang Yu. As long as they follow the plan and do a few 100 hours of practice questions, their scores are bound to improve significantly. For the midterms, they should at least aim for 450. For himself, he planned to fully utilize the vitality value and aim for 600. This way, their group's average score could reach 525. As for Lin Yujing, she was quite pitiable, actually. She was already at 721 points, with hardly any room for improvement. To win, she would have to coach Lu Xin to score above 330 points. Wait. 330. Given Lu Xin's current study status, it didn't seem too difficult. As long as he studied diligently, even blindly doing the questions, he could probably reach that score. Thinking of this, Li Zheng, carrying 4 big bags of practice questions, suddenly felt a bit panicked. No, the target must be raised. Assuming Lu Xin could reach the average score of 450, they could be truly confident of victory. Meaning, both he and Zhang Xiaoke would have to raise their scores by another 60 points or so each. For himself, getting over 600 was already very difficult. To push further would be entering the realm of geniuses. Li Zheng was determined to challenge himself, but the problem was there were only 3 weeks left, surely not enough time. Therefore, he had to squeeze more points out of Zhang Xiaoke. Zhang Xiaoke must improve to the 550 level. Thinking of this, Li Zheng turned back, put the 4 bags of practice questions back into the shopping cart, and headed once more towards the study materials section. Not enough. Practice questions, far from enough. He decided to try the bookstore's same-day delivery service. While Li Zheng was racing against time, he didn't know that in a top-floor apartment in another building, his teammate was wasting time lavishly. In a pink bedroom full of girlish vibes, Zhang Xiaoke carefully applied her contact lenses in front of a mirror. On the big double bed behind her, there were still 7 or 8 dresses and stockings laid out. Accompanied by a lively song from the speaker, Zhang Xiaoke blinked and hummed along. She carefully examined herself in the mirror, feeling very satisfied. Then she picked up her mascara, smiling and outlining her lashes, swish, swish, swish. After just a nap, she was full of energy again. For Zhang Xiaoke, this was her first date. Even though the theme was studying. At her new school, since the school uniforms hadn't been issued, she could wear her own clothes, but due to Sun Xiaobin's deterrence, she had to choose conservative outfits. Not anymore now. After leaving school, she, Zhang Xiaoke, was the real Zhang Xiaoke. This afternoon, meeting Li Zheng, his astonishment would be imaginable. You're so pretty, Xiaoke. I don't even dare to talk to you. Being with a plain guy like me, wouldn't you feel embarrassed? I really don't have the courage to sit so close to you. I might as well be your doggy. ARF, ARF, ARF. Imagining Li Zheng's blushing and thumping heart, unable to make eye contact, self-conscious but happy look. Wahahaha. Zhang Xiaoke kicked her legs in laughter, hey. Ah. After getting up, she realized she had to redo her lashes again. But she didn't find it troublesome. To capture this man psychologically, she feared no trouble. Beating him with looks was just the beginning. Chapter 47. Defeat would never happen again. She would conquer Li Zheng, subject by subject. By then, Li Zheng, who was already suffering from an inferiority complex about his looks, would be completely destroyed. Ah! Xiaoke, could it be that I'm the real dummy? It's my fault, Xiaoke. I got cocky. I'm just an average guy who studies hard. I surrender. From now on, I'll listen to everything you say and buy you drinks at lunch. Woof woof woof. Ruahahaha. Zhang Xiaoke almost burst out laughing again. No surprise, her second biggest enemy, Li Zheng, would soon be under her feet. What came next was the real challenge. Lin Yujing. This person seemed deep, more challenging to deal with than Li Zheng. First, she would beat Li Zheng at midterms, then, she would take Lin Yujing's seat. Dun dun dun. Her WeChat suddenly lit up. Li Zheng, 1:30 p.m. at Gyalo Cat Cafe, 600 meters east of the school's south gate, bring paper and pen. Zhang Xiaoke chuckled. Typical guy, even the meeting spot lacked creativity. A place like that, with cats everywhere, would surely mean skirts and socks covered in cat hair. She hated cats. Doggies were way cuter. Why wasn't there a dog petting cafe? At 1:25 p.m., Li Zheng arrived at the entrance of Gyalo Cat Cafe, carrying old Li's hiking bag. Even though it was close to school, he had never been inside before. After all, it was distracting from studies and not cheap. Petting cats was fun for a moment, but the money could be better spent on studying. He wouldn't have dared choose this place if he weren't trying to relax a bit. He lifted his head and looked at the neon cartoon logo. Then, he peered through the window at a ragdoll cat lounging peacefully on the sill. For some reason, he felt a nervousness like he was about to commit a crime. He took a long breath, steeled himself, and finally pushed the cafe's door. Just as he was about to open the door, something struck him. From experience, whenever he tried out a new way to relax, he always ran into one person. Considering the cafe's proximity to the school and it being a weekend, it seemed quite risky here. Li Zheng carefully pushed the door ajar and peeked inside. The cafe was small, with only 6 or 7 tables. The number of cats, however, was uncountable. At the moment, there were only 2 pairs of young female customers cuddling cats and squealing with delight. Lin Yujing was not there. Li Zheng let out a sigh of relief and stepped inside. But at the same time, he felt a bit disappointed. For some reason, he had secretly hoped to run into Lin Yujing. It made sense. If he bumped into her, it would prove his new form of relaxation was a hit. He was a relaxation genius. Judging by things now, petting cats might not be the ideal way to unwind. As he walked in, he glanced at the 2 pairs of customers. The cats in their arms seemed to have given up struggling, serving their masters in numb servitude. It was quite intense. A woman in her 40s, wearing a cat-themed apron and cat paw gloves, emerged from the back room and greeted him, "Welcome. Feel free to sit anywhere, upstairs or down." "There's an upstairs." Only then did Li Zheng notice the stairs inside. "Yeah, upstairs is larger and gets better sunlight." The lady picked up a drink menu to guide him. "I'll order here, and you can bring it upstairs." "Sure, thank you." Li Zheng stood at the counter, flipping through the drink menu. It was the usual: coffee, juice and desserts. Ridiculously pricey, starting at 40 or 50 yuan for anything. Just as he was debating whether to splurge on a bottle of mineral water, the woman behind the counter suddenly looked up, hesitated, and said, "Welcome." Then, the sound of a bag dropping to the floor came from behind. "Are you Li Zheng?" It was Zhang Xiao's voice. Li Zheng quickly turned around and was momentarily stunned. This girl, how could she come out in the middle of autumn with bare legs? She had the sense to wear a small brown trench coat on top, but below she only had a white skirt. Her bright white sneakers were noticeable, though. Besides that, her hairstyle was even more exaggerated than yesterday, with a large side braid and intricate plaited bangs. How much time did that waste? Zhang Xiao hurriedly picked up her geometrically patterned blue bag from the ground, half covering her face as she briskly walked up to the counter, trying desperately to avoid being seen by the cat-loving girls, as if she'd die of embarrassment. "Hey!" she said in a hushed, urgent, and annoyed tone as she got next to Li Zheng. "Why did you come like this?" "I should ask you." Li Zheng looked her up and down and countered, "Is this how you study? Aren't you cold? And that bag, at least you have the determination to study geometric polyhedrons." "Humph, you've got good taste." Zhang Xiao raised her blue bag with a mischievous smile. "Lowy puzzle geometric blue, do you know how hard it is to find this color?" "Lo what?" Li Zheng frowned, "I've never seen you this good at memorizing vocab." "PTTH, PTTH, PTTH, why am I even telling you this?" Zhang Xiao covered her face again. "Studying is fine, but you just had to wear your school uniform." Indeed. Li Zheng had been wearing his school uniform all day. Because it was windy while cycling, he had zipped it all the way up and flipped the collar over, making it look like a proper stand collar. The uniform itself was notable enough, blue and white with Lake Ying Middle School printed in bold red letters over the left chest. To top it off, he had pinned on a prominent youth league badge. Li Zheng looked down, "I wear my uniform every day. What's the big deal?" "Ah!" Zhang Xiao covered her face in anguish. She had spent the entire morning getting ready. So trendy, so stylish, so chic, so cute. And here she was, standing next to a uniform freak. It was like a grandpa in his undershirt and boxers rolling up in a Lamborghini. Such an aesthetic catastrophe. As bad as that was, she then noticed. He was wearing shiny dress shoes. Oh my god! Even worse than shorts with sneakers and stockings. What are you trying to do?" Zhang Xiao glared, gritting her teeth, are you going to a Halloween party? Playing the zombie squad leader? Wait a minute. Li Zheng looked at her in surprise, why are your eyes blue? Ugh. Zhang Ziok clutched her head, I don't care. If you insist on studying, at least go home and change first. This is all I have. Ugh. Zhang Ziok gritted her teeth, at least, change your shoes. My only pair broke. These are my dad's. Li Zheng said, pushing the drink menu toward her, stop fussing and order. With that, he pulled out old Li's credit card. A black sheen flashed by. Zhang Ziok squinted her eyes. Wow, that's no ordinary card. Pure black, with a gold embossed world map on the surface. She knew her stuff. That design was exclusive to elite, VIP members of top-tier banks. This guy, bringing a VIP credit card to a humble cat cafe. And pairing it with that unbearable school uniform and dress shoes. This contrast, it was hard to resist. Hurry! Li Zheng urged softly. Zhang Ziok's attitude softened involuntarily. She had to admit. Someone holding a black card, even in a school uniform and dress shoes, somehow spoke with an inexplicable authority. It was hard to handle. Chapter 48. Then, fine, let's go to the second floor. Zhang Ziok swallowed her saliva, glanced at the drinks menu with her face covered, latte, durian cake. Then she handed the drinks menu to Li Zheng. Li Zheng frowned. These two items cost 130 yuan. Damn, you're really not polite. He had wanted to try the coffee, but forget it. Farmer's spring water. Li Zheng closed the drinks menu and handed it back to the aunt, fearing she might be unwilling, he added, 2 bottles. The aunt took the bank card, quite flustered, our cheesecake is very good too, would you like to try it? Still not reaching the minimum spending. Li Zheng couldn't help but sigh, petting cats really was a noble pastime. The aunt, even more flustered after hearing this, answered, there's no minimum spending, just a recommendation. Then no need, Farmer's spring water is sweet enough. The aunt sighed, choosing to give up on this man. Next came swiping the card and signing. Li Zheng was especially careful confirming the decimal point position, afraid he might mistakenly swipe 13,000 yuan. Afterward, the two of them went up to the second floor. It was indeed much more spacious than the ground floor. Bright sunshine filled the place. Everywhere with sunlight was more or less occupied by some cats. Li Zheng swallowed nervously, chose a window seat, and carefully sat down. A beautiful short-haired cat lying on the table basking in the sun half opened an eye to glance at Li Zheng, then turned over and continued sunbathing. For Li Zheng, being this close was a first. This is it. Zhang Ziok dropped her handbag, sat on the sofa opposite Li Zheng, and sneered, I can't understand you cat lovers. Let's study first. Li Zheng restrained his desire to pet the cat, took out some materials from his hiking bag. Then took out more materials. And more materials. An endless supply of materials. As the stack of materials grew higher and higher, Zhang Ziok's body gradually collapsed. So, they were really going to study? What subject are you most confident in? Li Zheng asked while organizing the materials. Physics. Good, let's start with a set of medium difficulty physics questions. If you can reach 90% of my score, you'll pass physics. Li Zheng asked, do you want to do first year or the first month of second year questions? First year. Zhang Ziok had no other choice. Her previous school covered all 3 years of material in the first year. Because the entire school was filled with top geniuses, the pace of lessons was like the flight of the bumblebee. She barely grasped the first year material and couldn't keep up after that. Before long, Li Zheng pulled out 2 identical mock test papers and handed one to Zhang Ziok, all newly bought this morning. I haven't even glanced at them yet. After we finish, we'll grade each other's papers. Regardless of the outcome, we'll take a 20-minute break to pet the cats. I'm not going to pet those things. Zhang Ziok pulled over the paper with a snort. She glanced at the questions. They were manageable, not too difficult, but not too basic either. She then pulled out her pencil case from her bag, ready for the challenge. I want to propose an extra condition. She said while picking out a pen, if I pass physics, we immediately go out, buy a set of clothes and shoes, and change into them. Rejected. Li Zheng. Zhang Ziok glared at Li Zheng for a long while but finally lowered her head, please. I feel uncomfortable being seen with you dressed like that. Does it affect your study efficiency? Yes, very much. Then, all right. Li Zheng nodded and then avoided Zhang Xiao's gaze, looking at a cat scampering by. Besides, I need your guidance. I read online that many people find shopping to be a relaxing activity. You want to go shopping? Zhang Xiao's mouth opened wide in surprise. Yes. Li Zheng said hesitantly, shopping means going to the mall and buying things, right? Yes, yes, yes. Zhang Xiao nodded vigorously, her eyes sparkling. You've found the right person. Not just in our school, but in the entire Lake Ying area, no one knows shopping better than I do. That's good, I feel lost shopping alone. Oh, come on, let's go right now. Zhang Xiao stuck out her tongue and gave a mischievous smile. Only if you pass this test. Li Zheng picked up his pen. Time limit, 60 minutes. Start? He said nothing else and started working. This was Li Zheng. Any scene, any process, any dialogue. He could transition seamlessly into problem solving. So annoying. Zhang Xiao rubbed her head. Physics was her second strongest subject. She had to beat Li Zheng now. Zhang Xiao stopped overthinking and picked up her pen to get started. If she won, she'd shop till she dropped. If she lost, she'd drown in a sea of problems. Time ticked by. Zhang Xiao found it amazing. Doing problems with Li Zheng, she found it easy to get immersed. Without distractions, she could even ignore the annoying cats nearby. Li Zheng, this weird guy, seemed to naturally create a learning aura, making anyone with him settle down to study. As long as she didn't look at his stiff collar and emblem. On the other hand, Li Zheng did his work casually, at a regular pace, not bullying anyone. Beep beep beep, beep beep beep. The alarm clock went off, and they both stopped writing. Only then did they notice, the cake and coffee had long been placed on the table. The coffee was fine, the cake, however, was being gnawed at by 5 or 6 cats. Go away, go away. Zhang Xiao waved her hand, but it had no deterrent effect. Li Zheng was also at a loss, not knowing what to handle first. In the end, he had to press the call button to ask the ant to handle it. The ant rushed upstairs and hurried over. Oh no, cats aren't supposed to eat these. They already have colds. Zhang Xiao apologized awkwardly, sorry, we were too focused on the problems just now. The ant stared at her, stunned. Someone dressed like this actually came to study? Zhang Xiao was also stunned. Wasn't this kind of line supposed to be Li Zheng's specialty? How did she naturally say it now? She looked at Li Zheng in surprise. Li Zheng smiled and said, you have potential, I like you. Who needs your kind of liking? The ant quickly took the cake away, reluctantly promising to replace it. The two began grading each other's papers. The physics test was straightforward, just following the steps to grade, nothing too difficult. Li Zheng finished grading first and nodded in surprise, 83 points, not bad. Zhang Xiao's expression wasn't as good. She graded slowly not for other reasons, but because she spent all her time looking for mistakes. Between every word, every gap, every step, she tried to find something wrong. But unfortunately, Li Zheng's answers were frighteningly precise. Not only were there no errors, but there were inexplicably many additional steps. He even wrote out the equations. In the end, she reluctantly wrote a high score of 94. Chapter 49. Don't need your explanation, Zhang Xiao straightened up and snatched the paper back. I already understood it when I compared the answers earlier. Really? Then it looks like you're smarter than me, Li Zheng nodded confidently. At this rate, there's a good chance you'll reach the midterm goal I set for you. With that, he pushed 2 exercise books towards Zhang Xiao. Focus on these 2 books for the next couple of days, and feel free to challenge me anytime. You just wait. I'll pass by nightfall. Zhang Xiao took the exercise books and glanced at the towering pile of books. You spent quite a bit on these, hey? Yes. Can't stand it. Zhang Xiao scratched her head, pulled out her phone, and started operating it. Li Zheng's phone beeped, and he saw that Zhang Xiao had transferred 150 yuan to him, roughly the cost for today. Consider it tutoring fees. Don't talk nonsense, I don't want to owe you, Zhang Xiao said as she put on her earphones and started reviewing her mistakes. Once again, Li Zheng experienced what it meant to not judge a book by its cover. She always seemed like she was up to something. But when she started studying, she was quite well behaved. He had an urge to formally take her on as a student. Just then. Such a familiar sound. Li Zheng shivered. Despite being nervous, he felt a bit thrilled. Next, he eagerly turned to look. Lin Yujing was standing at the top of the stairs, holding a tray. She was wearing a cat apron, cat sleeves, and a cat headband. What's going on? Before Li Zheng could ask, Lin Yujing had already hurried over, put down the cake, and was about to leave. Just then, an auntie called from downstairs. Jing Jing, please give the little rascals on the second floor their medicine while you're at it. Lin Yujing clutched her head, went to a small cabinet by the wall, skillfully took out a syringe, and started mixing the medicine with water. Hey! Zhang Xiok took off her earphones in surprise. Is that Lin Yujing from our class? Lin Yujing shivered a bit but said nothing. Zhang Xiok, however, was intrigued. She put down her exercise books and skipped over, giving Lin Yujing a hug and with a mischievous smile asked. Sweetie, is this place yours? No, Lin Yujing blushed and said, I work here. Hey? Can we work at our age? SHH. Lin Yujing quickly raised her hand. I'm a regular here and know the auntie well. I just come to help out on weekends. As she spoke, she glanced at the innocent little rag doll that had just come up the stairs and gave a sly smile. You can pet them as much as you like. Oh. Zhang Xiok hugged her, grinning cheekily. Does that mean we get a freebie too? Lin Yujing rubbed her head. I'll ask the auntie. Just kidding, haha. Zhang Xiok winked. I'll be over there studying. Come join us when you're done. She hopped back to her seat and leaned over, whispering, Lin Yujing, must not be doing too well financially. She's working here on the weekends. How should I know? Li Zheng replied, not bothering to look at her, fixing his gaze on the ground next to him. There, a plump American shorthair had its eyes on the new cake on the table. And it even licked its lips. Let's give it a try, relax by petting a cat. He got up slowly, eyeing the American shorthair. But as soon as he took half a step, the plump cat darted away. It even turned back, squinted at Li Zheng, and scratched its cheek with its hind paw, as if taunting him. So difficult. So, Li Zheng left his seat and tried to approach other cats. But these cats were extremely vigilant. As soon as he made any move to get close, they would run away. He couldn't catch any of them. While they were at a stalemate, Li Zheng glanced at Lin Yujing. At this time, Lin Yujing had finished mixing the medicine and also started catching cats. Unlike Li Zheng, she didn't walk directly towards the cats but pretended to pass by, not even looking directly at them. The cats just watched her cautiously, some thinking about moving but too lazy to do so. Just when Lin Yujing was at the closest point to the cats, she suddenly leaped and grabbed one. It was as if her body had stretched. As soon as the cat kicked its legs to run, Lin Yujing had already caught it by the nape. Lin Yujing gently lifted the cat up. The cat looked calm, not struggling at all, as if it had been anesthetized. Such a skillful technique. Li Zheng's eyes were filled with astonishment. But that was not the end. Lin Yujing flipped her hand and smoothly tucked the cat into her arms, then started scratching its chin with a giggle. The cat finally reacted, wriggling and kicking to escape. But Lin Yujing didn't hold tight, she simply used her hands to counter the cat's frantic kicks smoothly, like practicing Tai Chi, guiding the cat's struggles into circular movements, making it twist around aimlessly. Despite all its efforts, the cat kept ending up in Lin Yujing's clutches. After a few rounds, the cat's movements slowed down. Seizing the moment, Lin Yujing flipped her right hand, opened her palm to caress the cat's head, scratched its chin with her thumb, and behind its ear with her index finger. The cat's eyes rolled back, and it instantly gave up struggling. Lin Yujing took advantage to hold it firmly and continued scratching it. Before long, the cat lay flat on Lin Yujing's lap, eyes squinted, front legs hanging, and started snoring as if it was asleep. Whoa! Li Zheng marveled in amazement. A master! This is a true master! Such a cat binding technique, it must have taken hundreds of tries to perfect. Not only that, but Lin Yujing was also very clever. To save money on petting cats, she worked here, getting to pet cats and earn money simultaneously. Li Zheng walked up to Lin Yujing, who was feeding the cat medicine, full of admiration. Can you? Shh. Lin Yujing gently took the syringe, dropped the medicine into the cat's mouth, then put the cat on the table and patted its butt. The cat flipped over, stood up, and gazed at Lin Yujing with a hint of reluctance. Li Zheng quickly reached out to try and pet it. With a swift kick, the cat dashed away. Li Zheng swallowed, turning to Lin Yujing with unprecedented sincerity in his eyes. Can you teach me? Lin Yujing snickered, took a few steps, then turned and beckoned him. Li Zheng hurried over. Lin Yujing handed him the syringe and then aimed at a blue cat lying a few meters away on the table. She hummed a tune as she walked over, pretending to look in the opposite direction. This blue cat was much smarter, flipping over to run as soon as Lin Yujing got within its alert range. Lin Yujing crouched down and followed. Just as the blue cat jumped off the table, mid-air, Lin Yujing had already grabbed it under its armpits. Meow! The blue cat yowled miserably, kicking its legs frantically. With that agility and bone-stretching technique, Li Zheng knew he couldn't master it. On the other side, Lin Yujing continued practicing her Tai Chi techniques, guiding the cat's struggles fluidly, turning them into circular movements. Li Zheng noticed that Lin Yujing's Tai Chi cat technique had no specific patterns, purely going with the flow, responding naturally, embodying her instincts. It seemed like an innate skill, impossible to learn. After a series of puzzling maneuvers, the blue cat lay weakly in Lin Yujing's arms. She started scratching its chin. What could the blue cat do? It could only squint its eyes and purr. Chi Lin Yujing booked its nose, giggled, took the syringe from Li Zheng, and began administering the medicine. Li Zheng was in complete awe. Like a commoner encountering the Tai Chi master Zhang Sanfan. It was truly eye-opening. Chapter 50. Happiness came too suddenly, and Li Zheng was at a loss. Can I do it now? Lin Yujing gave the cat a little shake. Li Zheng licked his lips and then carefully reached out, touching the blue cat's belly lightly. Detected relaxation activity, petting a cat. Vitality recovery rate, 2.8. Maximum recovery per day, 60 minutes. Recovery rate cannot be increased by game coin. Why didn't they say so earlier? Li Zheng got excited and couldn't help but start rubbing the cat's belly, and the recovery rate began to steadily rise. The blue cat, forced to work, pitifully flailed its legs, unable to stop the man in front of it. Meow! It turned towards Lin Yujing, pleading. Lin Yujing handed the cat back to Li Zheng again. Li Zheng swallowed and asked, Can I hold it? Li Zheng took a deep breath, recalling how Lin Yujing held the cat. He wrapped his left hand around the cat's back and supported its bottom with his right hand, giving it a gentle hug. Lin Yujing then released her hold. The blue cat immediately began to struggle. Li Zheng, still a novice, couldn't cope. The cat kicked off his arm and escaped. In a panic, Li Zheng instinctively reached out and grabbed the cat's tail. Lin Yujing got anxious and slapped the back of Li Zheng's hand. Li Zheng felt the slap, although soft and cool, and let go of the tail, asking, embarrassed, Can't pull its tail. Lin Yujing nodded and lifted her hand to grab the back of her own neck. Yes, grab the scruff of the neck, right? I got it. For the rest of the time, Li Zheng didn't study. He ended up catching cats and feeding them medicine with Lin Yujing. But Lin Yujing wasn't very forthcoming with tips, mostly letting Li Zheng watch her. Occasionally working together from both sides. Li Zheng could only watch her closely, seizing opportunities to grab some cat fur and pet stealthily. Every now and then, Zhang Xiok looked up at the two of them, not knowing how to describe the scene. Maybe something like the cat cafe Cinderella and the tyrant in a school uniform? Really, if you're so bold, go to a dog shelter, see what you can learn there. Li Zheng monitored her for nearly an hour before successfully giving all the cats their medicine. Afterwards, Lin Yujing went downstairs to take care of other matters, and Li Zheng continued his hands-on training alone. Though his catch rate didn't match Lin Yujing's, he managed to catch 3 or 4 out of 10 tries, gradually improving. Meanwhile, Li Zheng also petted various breeds and colors of cats in different poses. This was undoubtedly enjoyable, but it wasn't just for fun. In fact, he was selecting the top cat. The so-called top cat is the one that is most satisfying to pet and offers the highest relaxation rate. Diligence paid off, and he found it. It was a stubborn and hard-to-catch little British Shorthair. Grey and white, with grey on its back, tail, and head, and white starting from the forehead down. Its eyes were round, and its face even rounder, with a moist-looking nose and a soft meow. It looked a bit like the cat Mim with a bewildered expression. Not only that, it was very averse to humans and extremely vigilant. So catching it and petting it brought an obvious increase in pleasure. Li Zheng also discovered the ultimate cat petting position that brought him to cloud 9. It involved burying his face entirely in the cat's belly, and rubbing up, down, left, and right. Li Zheng named this position super speed spiral petting. Using this position on the top cat could achieve a peak relaxation rate of 7. Petting it for 10 minutes each day would give him an extra hour of study time the next day. Truly enjoyable and satisfying. After petting for the full 60 minutes allowed today, Li Zheng took a picture of the cat. Returning to his desk, seeing Zhang Xiok still diligently working on problems, Li Zheng sent the cat's photo to his family group chat. 1542. Li Zheng, I want to adopt this cat. Ning, ask your dad, he's the one cleaning the house. 1555. Li Yi, how much? Li Zheng, not sure if it's for sale yet, just asking. What's the maximum you could accept? Li Yi, within 3,000. You should know, if you get a cat, all the cleaning responsibilities will be yours, sweeping and mopping, the litter box in your room, choosing cat food, scooping the poop, bathing the cat, taking it to the vet, and eventually burying it. Li Zheng, why talk about burying it already? Li Yi, I had a cat before, I know the hardest part. Li Yi, giving you a heads up, cats usually don't live beyond 15 years. After 10 years, they often become less active, similar to human dementia. Li Yi, purebred cats might even die earlier due to congenital diseases. Li Yi, you'll be responsible for all these things and bear the burden. Li Yi, if you're determined, pick one within 3,000 that you like. Li Yi, if you can't handle the responsibilities I mentioned, I'll give it away when you're not around. Li Yi, one last reminder, don't buy a Scottish fold. They have a genetic defect leading to high mortality rates. Breeding them is cruel, don't support it. Li Zheng, thanks, I got it. Ning, wow, teacher Li lectures more for a cat than for getting a wife. Li Yi at Ning, honey, I'm low on cash, can barely afford to fuel the car. Ning, then ride a bike. Li Yi, loudly crying face. Putting down his phone, Li Zheng let out a long sigh. Although raising a cat was troublesome, the benefits far outweighed the troubles. Besides, he instinctively enjoyed the process. The next step was to negotiate the price. Just as he was thinking, the shop owner's wife and Lin Yujing came upstairs together. You should have said you were Jingjing's classmate. The lady greeted warmly. Lin Yujing was carrying a tray with 2 small pieces of cheesecake, following behind. Li Zheng and Zhang Xiok quickly stood up to greet them. Lin Yujing, visibly annoyed, placed the tray in front of Li Zheng and then stood aside, taking a big bite of cake. Sit, sit. The lady invited everyone to sit down and then took a seat on the sofa. Students from your school used to come here often after school. But then a vice principal started checking for early romance every day, and no one dared to come anymore. Only Jingjing kept coming here to study alone. Lin Yujing turned her head, looking even more annoyed. She took another big bite of cake. Li Zheng simply smiled. Relaxation through petting cats was evidently Lin Yujing's go-to. But frequent visits to the cat cafe, even working here, was a waste of time. He was wiser. If he liked something, he'd take it home, pet it whenever, and as long as he liked for free. Auntie. Li Zheng pointed to the British shorthair gazing out the window, is this one for sale? Lin Yujing suddenly stiffened, setting her cake aside. Yes, we also have a cattery. The lady smiled, you have a good eye, this one is the best looking among the young cats. How much? Lin Yujing twitched again. Hold on, I need to ask the boss. The lady smiled, retrieved her phone, and stepped to the window to make a call.